All right. Welcome to what will almost certainly be the Christmas episode.
Yes, definitely. Or New Year's.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be an episode after this that's going to make it in time for Christmas, so it's pretty much going to be this one.
Going to be the winter episode.
It is going to be, hopefully.
Yeah.
Man, we made that joke last year, and it's only more true this year than it was last year. So,
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's big things on the way.
yes. But yes, we'll reveal that in due time. Of course,
yeah. I wasn't going to, yeah.
But anywho, how you been?
Good. Excited to get my vaccinations next weekend.
Oh, very exciting.
I'm so excited to get both of those into my arm. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I sent you that message after I had just done it, and it's exactly as fun as you remember.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, God, it was
It'll be
so
worth
uncomfortable.
It, yeah. It's worth it.
Actually, shit, man. I was just thinking about this the other day, but like, how long has it been since you've flown?
A very long time. I'm planning to get there very early.
Okay,
to
cool.
try and navigate.
Are you up to date on the various requirements and things you need to do?
Nope.
Yeah, you should probably just like take a little peek, like, make sure you have a bag or a suitcase or something that fits in the overhead compartment, assuming you want to, just put something in the overhead instead of having to like fucking check your bag.
Yes.
Might be worthwhile.
Sure. I'll definitely do that then.
Got to do all the shit with like putting all your liquids in a clear plastic container that's no bigger than a whatever fucking size. And
yeah.
If you're bringing your laptop, you got to like, I don't know if they make it, you take it. There's fucking, just read the TSA bullshit that you got.
Yeah, sure. I will read the TSA bullshit. I'm definitely taking my laptop.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like, even as somebody that like, flies infrequently, it's still like, oh God, what do we have to do now anymore? I
haven't
remember.
Flown since Jamaica.
That seems likely. I can't imagine a time.
So essentially never.
Yeah. I think you've flown like maybe once in your conscious
Only once, and it was pre-TSA, pre-9/11. So like, it's different.
Yeah. You're in for a whole new world. Yeah. You're going to have to take your shoes off. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
That's fine. I'm ready. I'm ready to be like humiliated and then stuck on like a bus in the air for however long it'll be.
I wish it was as good as a bus.
It's been a long time since you've taken a Greyhound.
Greyhounds are nice. Planes are not.
Have you ever taken a Greyhound across country, Jason?
No, but I have flown coach to Japan, and
okay, sure, okay.
So I think that I may have one.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that, but
yeah,
I hear stories.
You'll have to let me know, because I have my experience is that planes have only gotten shittier over time. They've made everything even more condensed than it used to be.
That's fine.
Yeah, but it's a short flight. I mean, I think from like
exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
North
for
Carolina,
you, no problem.
Detroit. Yeah.
Next time I go to Japan, or really anywhere longer than a couple hours like that, I'm going to very seriously consider a upgrade to my seating, because it was awful. It was just a miserable experience.
I definitely didn't fly. I didn't go the lowest.
Oh, interesting.
I think I bought the class. I was like, I want to go whatever is not the lowest class airplane ticket, because it was like an extra $50.
Oh, okay.
And it was already like $400. It was like, okay, I'll pay $450 to like not sit in the cheap seats, I guess. Sure.
Fair enough.
Like, what, are you kidding me?
Oh God. When I came back from Tim's wedding a couple of years ago, which I think is the last time that I flew, on the way back, unfortunately it was for the shortest leg of my journey because I had a connection, but like still for one of the connections, it was, I got bumped to first class, and that ruined everything for me. I was like, oh man, now that I know how nice this is, it's like, now I'm like, oh God, I could always do this. This is a thing. Yeah. But first class is so fucking expensive. Like, because like, it's funny, like they came back in the plane and they were like, hey, we need an extra person in first class to balance the plane. Does anybody want to go? And I was the only person who reacted immediately. And it's like, what are the rest of you doing? Like, how is this not something that you were like leaping on with like the most enthusiasm possible? Like, I was just like, me. I will take that. That, please.
You're just a little eager beaver.
I really was, I was already kind of like, I don't think I had room in my overhead compartment for my my bag, so I was gonna have to put it like beneath the seat, which was already gonna be a fucking pain in the ass, because it's like what little leg room I had was now going to be taken up by a suitcase. And so like the moment that they were like, oh, you can move to a different part and have a compartment and all, I was like, yes, I would like that, please.
Yeah, that's very nice.
It was indeed.
I'm sure that won't happen to me.
I highly doubt it. But if it does, if anybody says, hey, we need to balance the plane, so can you bump to first? Just don't even let them finish the sentence. Just be like, me, I will take. Please give to me, thanks.
Yeah, I definitely won't be paying that much attention, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you'll have your headphones in immediately. And
yep.
That is the nice thing. They let you use your headphones now while they're taking off, which didn't used to be a thing.
Yeah, cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Flying. It's a miracle and also fucking terrible.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'm mentally prepared, I guess.
Excellent. Well, so. we're mentally prepared for you. It's good. It's been an entirely ridiculous amount of time since I've seen you, so it's gonna be exciting to have you up here.
Yeah. I can't wait. I actually have all the things. It's weird.
Like all your passport and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I have passports, got tickets, I got my vaccination scheduled. It's like I'm ready.
Nice.
It's weird to be ready. I'm usually, me. I like to procrastinate.
Yes. I have noticed.
So what else?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wheel of Time.
Oh right, yeah. You finished that. You finished
season
2.
Yes,
so
season
good,
2. Right? Oh, well, okay. Yes. You tell me though. How was it?
Good. I don't really remember it that well. If I'm honest.
Okay. I was hoping for your deep insights, really having actually read the books.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and just refresh my memory here real quick.
Yeah, that's okay. See, I can cut this part out.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Season 2 was great because it was like finally they started like revealing what the book is about.
Okay.
The books. Sorry. Just like, because season 1 is like, oh, here's a fantasy world. Like, it's really typical and like everything is kind of normal, And season 2 is like, ooh, there's evil witches and like, oh, did you know about the Forsaken? Oh, and like they're out already. And just like, it's like the plot has started finally.
Okay, so these are like some of the big reveals you were waiting for.
Well, they're not even like, I mean, in the scope of like what I consider to be the ultimate like plot, structure, theme, there's a lot of reveals left. But like, it's nice that they've started to do them.
Okay, yeah. Maybe that was the wrong. These are like the necessary components are finally being set up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like season 1 didn't have anything essentially. Season 1 was just like, here's the characters, kind of, but like you didn't understand what was happening at all. Like as a book reader, I did, and so it was cool. But like, I guess most book readers expected everything to happen exactly like it happens in the books. Which is stupid. I don't understand why they expected that. But they get really angry about it and they don't like the show for some reason because of that. I guess because they're, weird book nerds who only read Wheel of Time.
Yep.
Oh, if that doesn't get us views, I don't know what will.
Oh God, I hope so. I mean, that should be like the title of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking weird nerds.
And just post that on the Wheel of Time subreddit.
Oh,
just like, yeah.
Really in this podcast, we talk about the weird nerds who only read Wheel of Time.
And how stupid they are for not liking the Wheel of Time TV show.
How stupid they are. Fucking idiot. Although apparently, like from what I understood, because like when I was reading some of the Reddit shit, like people were like, oh well, season 1 sucked, but like at least season 2 they brought it back. I'm like, season 1 was great. What the fuck are you talking about?
Season 1 was great, but like season 2 was way better because it had like things in it, like the whole I cannot pronounce it how they pronounce it in the show, so I'm just gonna pronounce it how I've pronounced it in my head for the last 2 decades, which is Senchan.
Oh, the Seanchan.
Seanchan. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. It's because it's Cean as in Sean.
Yeah. So I just now I can't even remember how I pronounced it, but
Seanchan.
Seanchan. Yeah, it looks Seanchan.
Seanchan. Why not?
The Seanchan, and they're Domne and Soldom. I think I got Soldom. I got close, but
Soldom. Yeah.
Domne. I think that's right too. But anyway,
it's Domine, isn't it?
Domine. There we go. Domine. Because I mean, it is just a BDSM thing, obviously.
Yeah.
100%. But it's great. I love it. It's all that stuff is so good. It sets up all the character arcs. It and puts all the plot stuff out there for the most part. It's great. It was a great season.
Can I refresh myself a little bit? I feel like you had mentioned back when we talked about season 1 that season 1 covered like multiple books. Is that?
It rearranged things.
Okay.
I, I guess it was just book 1.
Okay, it was just book 1. Okay.
It ultimately was book 1, but they just, it was like weirdly arranged.
Okay.
The thing that they didn't do is they didn't introduce Elaine in season 1.
Okay. Who's that again?
Elaine, the daughter of, the princess daughter, heir of Andor.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I read the books. I can name drop. I've read them enough times at this point, but
yes, you might be the only person who's read them enough times.
Yeah, just like she was supposed to be in the first season, like if you went by the books.
Okay.
But I mean, the way they introduce her is great, and like I love her actress. I think they did a great job casting her and her writing. She's suitably haughty and like prideful. Mm-hmm. It's nice. Yeah, it's great. What do you think?
I thought it was great. I mean, because I loved season 1 and like having, again, like for me, like this is all sight unseen, right? And I think that's always like the thing that people who read the books are like always like, oh, like, are they going to get it? Right. And I don't know if I got it, but like I found it enjoyable and I didn't find it like difficult to follow or anything,
I mean, I don't, that's fine not to get it. It's cool to get it in retrospect, but the first time I read through the books, it was just like a power fantasy, essentially, for me as Rand.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, man, yeah.
Like, I think with, like, shows and movies and stuff like that, when they adapt things, it's like, a book might reveal things at a certain time when it feels appropriate and when, like, mechanically as a book, it makes sense to reveal them in a way that, like, TV shows and movies, maybe it doesn't, And, like, I feel like if an adaptation is good, you ultimately get to roughly the same place, regardless of whether or not you read the book or watched the TV show or watched the movie. But like, you might get there in a different set of steps, right? You along the way, the journey is slightly different, but the destination is roughly the same.
So you agree with me that it's okay to just watch a video game and not play it?
I mean, as somebody that has watched video games, I do agree that sometimes it's okay, unless the mechanics of the thing are the thing, which, I think
of course.
There is probably a giant swath of video game critics and, essayists that would argue that the playing of the video game is the point, because if it wasn't, then why would we make it a video game instead of just
why
make
does
it a
Heavy
movie?
Rain exist?
Yeah, I mean, Heavy Rain is essentially just a choose-your-own-adventure novel, but whatever. I mean, the graphics are kind of nice.
Yeah, they are, and the story's good. I mean, the first time.
It's surprising that we're on this topic all of a sudden. We'll try to talk about something else, but yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like I actually don't mind the David Cage games because I don't go into them with any expectations of them being like masterpieces. I just go into them with like the same kind of like they're adult Goosebumps choose your own adventure books. Like,
oh, that's a really good way of putting them. Wow, I like that.
And it's fine. Like, that's cool. I'm okay with that. Like, it doesn't need to be anything more than that. It's like Pulp Fiction.
I played Indigo Prophecy. You're preaching to the choir here.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I played Detroit Become Human. Now, admittedly, it was like free on PS Plus, so I was like, well, like, what better price than that?
I think that's one of his better ones.
It's not bad. I mean,
I'm
it's
a sucker
ham
for that
fisted
kind of stuff. Yeah, I like that stuff. So maybe that's just why.
I mean, it is a ham fisted metaphor, but like ham fisted metaphors are still enjoyable. Like, I like ham.
Yeah, I do. Oh. We definitely got to talk about our Thanksgivings.
Yes. How was your Thanksgiving? Did we not talk about Thanksgiving? I guess we haven't because it's been a couple months.
No, because you had Canadian Thanksgiving and I had American Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this at all. Okay, yeah.
I had recently eaten Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Whereas you have eaten Thanksgiving a while ago. I mean, I had to, if you have the pictures from whenever I sent them to you a year or two ago, it's that exact thing again.
Okay. Smoked turkey.
It's so good.
And accoutrement.
Smoked turkey, honey baked ham, mashed potatoes, macaroni, Brussels sprouts, carrots, stuffing, all the good stuff.
Yeah, the required elements.
We did have a bunch of garlic butter from Chandler's restaurant. And so we just melted all of it we used it as the butter for the mashed potatoes.
Ooh, nice.
And that was a good choice. So they were particularly good this year.
We made a controversial choice.
Ooh, no turkey?
No, not that controversial.
Okay, I mean,
We subbed out mashed potatoes for macaroni and cheese.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because we were talking about it, and like Lauren was like, because Mom was gonna make macaroni and cheese, and like Lauren was really into that. I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, we'll do macaroni and cheese and potatoes and blah blah. And then everybody else was like, well, if we have macaroni and cheese, do we really need potatoes? And I'm like, well, I don't care. I mean, like, I'm not the mashed potato eater in this house, so everybody can do what they want. Like, if you don't care about the mashed potatoes, you're willing to sub them out for mac and cheese, I'm all for that. So that's what we ended up with.
And you've probably already done this, but mac and cheese with stuffing in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we had a butter imbalance, and so by combining the two of those things into one, I discovered it's essentially just like better breadcrumb.
I mean, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I made myself a like Thanksgiving sandwich like the following day.
Of course.
And I layered the mashed potatoes and mac and cheese on there, so I'm getting somewhat of a similar experience.
It's so good.
Oh god, do I have this on my phone? Can I send this to you? It's just a nightmare scenario of fucking things. It was ridiculous. I had to eat it with a fork and knife because there literally was no other way to consume this sandwich. It was impossible.
Yeah, I did that with ham and stuffing. Carrot, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was good. We did have more people this year too, because we added Will and Jackie. We had like 10 people.
Oh wow.
Total. Yeah, we host a lot.
No, that's impressive.
House. Yeah, 10 people I think that's the most we can do though with our living room.
Yeah, that's impressive that you were able to do that at all. So.
Oh, that looks great though. That looks really good.
Oh, it's fantastic. I try to remember to post a picture of that.
Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm
really glad that I'm not hungry.
Hell yeah.
I'd have to just pause and go get a sandwich.
There you go. Yeah, no, I did the stuffing with all pumpernickel this year, and so I had some leftover pumpernickel. Yeah, pumpernickel stuffing. It's good. It's a real treat. I'll tell you.
It's interesting because I went the exact opposite way. I went all white bread.
Oh,
like
interesting.
Straight up white bread.
I mean, there is something to be said for that because I mean, it's really just a vehicle. So
yeah, it was actually really hard to dry out white bread for stuffing because I guess it has so much sugar in it. It attracts mold like crazy, so I had to like dry it in the oven multiple times.
Oh well, I mean, you should always dry it in the oven anyway.
Well, I did that. Well, I'd always do that first, but I never had to do a second run.
Oh damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah, but it ended up turning out really good because it's so sweet.
Yeah, I mean that it does give it a certain je ne sais quoi, which is sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. Oh, it's sugar. That's the thing I was trying to say.
It's perfect.
Nice.
But yeah, pumpernickel sounds great.
Yeah, I mean it definitely gives it the pumpernickel obviously lends quite a bit of flavor to it, but it's not an unwelcome one in stuffing. So it kind of goes because I think last year I did half pumpernickel, half sourdough as like a combination. And like every time I got a bite of pumpernickel, I was like, this is better. I should just do all pumpernickel. And so that's what we did.
Yeah. Nice.
I also did a different thing with the turkey in that I broke it out into parts and I did the dark meat in the oven, like on top of the stuffing. And then I did sous vide for the turkey breast.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which did go well. I will say I chickened out on or turkeyed out on doing the temperature too low. Because I didn't want to I didn't want it to turn out weird for the first time trying it. But I think on subsequent ones, I will actually go to a lower temperature than I did this time. I think I did 155, which I mean, it turned out tasty, but it was mostly just tasted like regular turkey breast. Whereas like, I feel like I want to try going down to like 145, 140 and see how that goes.
You know what I learned?
Yeah.
Putting stuffing in turkey while you cook it is like considered weird and dangerous.
Oh yeah. That's a thing.
Didn't realize that because I never push it because I never cared. I like stovetop stuffing, but this year I was like, we could do stuffing in the turkey, And Chandler was like, what the fuck? Steven, are you a madman? What are you talking about? That's the way to like ruin your turkey. And I was like, what are you talking about? We do that we did that every year.
Yep.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yep.
Yeah, it is a thing. You aren't really. I mean, like there is.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody fucking does it, and like you're really supposed to make sure you.
Apparently not.
Well, you have to check.
Everybody.
The thing is, you have to check the temp on your stuffing because the stuffing might be hilariously undercooked versus the.
Yes.
And then it's just soaking in salmonella juice. So
salmonella juice. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So maybe not the best, but I mean, whatever. Like, it's fine. You're probably not going to get sick.
Well, yeah. It also messes with the timing of the turkey meat, though.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, cooking an entire bird,
sacrifice
like in its
stuffing,
just in its bird form, is always the worst thing. Like anything else that you can do to like either flatten it or change the geometry of it is just always going to be better. Like it's literally just for presentation.
Just buy a smoker.
Buy a smoker. Yeah.
Buy a smoker.
Because I mean, like. And the thing is, it's so dumb that, like, I guess the only reason why we always did it at home that way is because we wanted to stuff the turkey. But, like, there's, like, no advantage to it unless you're going to serve it on the table like that. Like, it's just pointless. It's just a fucking pointless exercise.
Completely pointless. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So
that was interesting to learn.
Yeah. I exclusively spatchcock it now. Like, if I'm going to do, like, a whole turkey by itself like that, like, and I just set it on top of the stuffing. And then it accomplishes the exact same thing of getting the drippings onto the stuffing, except for then it doesn't get fucking ruined and the stuffing actually like is good. So
yeah.
There you go.
Now you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess you didn't have anything more to say about Wheel of Time since we wheeled right off of that.
Oh, I mean, did you have anything more to say?
I didn't.
Yeah, it was good. I don't want to spoil anything accidentally because it's just like.
Oh no, that's fair. Okay,
so
I appreciate
that.
Is
just like I'm excited for this thing you don't know about. And it's like I can't. Yeah, it's like okay, moving on.
Yeah, no, I thought Wheel of Time was good. I really enjoyed it. I thought that like
very excited for season 3.
I'm very excited for season 3.
More than I was for season 2.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. I was already excited for season 2 because I saw like I don't know like the ending of it with like the Shan showing up was already kind of like cool. I was like, okay,
I'll be completely honest. When Matt left at the end and I saw the reviews and the middling performance, I kind of cut myself off for my own protection. I was like, okay, this is not going to survive. It's time to just throw this by the side of the road and keep driving.
Oh, fair enough. Actually, maybe that is the one thing I do want to tell you. What do you think about the new actor for Matt?
Great. I honestly think he's better.
No, okay.
So, yeah.
You think he fits the character better?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's more Matt to me. Because Matt is not like, he's brooding for that one season, and then he like is never really that as a whole for very long. Like
okay.
He's more like the season 2 actor. So I think they did a good job.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense to me because I was in hindsight, knowing what, I end up finding out at the end of, season 2, I was like, how would they have done that with the other actors? The other actor seemed like he was so like dark brooding, like
exactly.
Evil man.
Yeah, it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it worked out pretty nicely.
Yep.
Now I have to ask, now unrelated. Have you watched Witch from Mercury?
No, but I have been very tempted because I've heard it is very good.
Can I possibly entice you with a single sentence?
Sure.
The first episode of Witch from Mercury is almost a beat, not shot for shot, but almost a beat for beat remake of the first episode of Utena, Revolutionary Girl.
Wait, really?
And the people that worked on Witch from Mercury were also formerly worked on Revolutionary Girl.
Okay,
Utena.
done, sold. Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay, that's all I got to say. Because we watched it, so thank you so much for making me watch Revolutionary Girl Utena, because after the first episode of that, Lauren and I turned to each other, we're like, is this Revolutionary Girl Utena? And then I looked it up. It's like, oh, these people worked on Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
well, no, I'm sold. I'm going to watch that. Then. Yeah.
It doesn't stay that forever, but it is a very clear homage, and you will be very happy to see it.
Yeah, just knowing that those people are still working on like a popular show is like very heartening.
Okay, so I say no more. I will say no more, but yes.
Great. Yeah, no, thank you for telling me.
Yeah, no problem.
Kicks it up the list a lot.
Have you watched Jinro?
Jinro, Wolf's Brigade, of course.
Yeah, we watched
awesome.
that.
That was actually one of my like very first. I was like 12 when I watched that.
It was great, man. Holy
It's
shit.
so good. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, so somebody like brought it up as like, oh, this is like one of the best anime movies of all
Yeah,
time.
it's classic. Yeah, definitely.
And I was like, how have I never heard of this? And then I like looked at some screenshots from it. I'm like, wait, is this the fucking guys from Killzone?
Yeah, it's the guys from Killzone.
It's the fucking guys from Killzone.
Nothing is ever original.
Nothing is ever. I mean, it's literally the guys from Killzone. I was like,
No,
this
yeah,
is
that's why do you think I love Killzone so much?
because it's fucking Jinro.
I got to be Jinro the Wolf's Brigade guy.
Oh man. So I was like, and it was like, I mean, it's funny too, because it's like that almost kind of like ruined it a little bit in the sense of like I was expecting more of that, but it wasn't really about that.
No.
But it just turned out to be a really good movie. Like it was like this is good. This is just really interesting and compelling. And like it's like really well like animated and it looks fucking great and like the acting is really solid and it's just like this rules. How have I never heard of this?
Yeah, I'm surprised I've never recommended it to you because it's like definitely on my list of classics.
I think that when you come down, you need to sit me down and we need to go through Crunchyroll and make sure I have all of the things that need to be on there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, Jinro, man, holy shit. I'm not expecting that to be as amazing as that was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I sort of should have, but yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's so
then,
good. Yeah.
We just finished Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh, okay. Bungo Stray Dogs. Interesting.
Yeah. Have you watched that?
That has a multiple seasons, right?
That is a longer one. That's like 5 seasons.
And it's like the first season, they're like in that like Italian village thing. There's like it's like the alleyways are very narrow and like
No, they're in
Bungo
Yokohama
Stray
pretty much the whole time.
They're in Yokohama. Okay, then I've never seen this.
Okay, you haven't seen? Okay, this was good.
Oh, they're the fucking detective agency.
Yeah, the
thing.
armed detective agency.
Okay, yes. No, I've definitely never seen this.
Oh, you've never seen it? Oh, okay.
Never seen it.
I won't say too much more, but it was very good. Fucking
good?
fantastic. Like this is like you know shit like Demon Slayer and fucking like My Hero Academia and like the ones that like are like top tier, really like not well, I don't even know if top tier, but it's like the ones that are like super popular and like you can tell by like the content they're going to be super popular and like something that everybody's gonna watch.
Mm-hmm.
This is like that, but I've never fucking heard of it.
This is not what I thought you were talking about at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
It rules. It's so good. I was just like, how is this not like the most popular? I mean, I guess it is. It has 5 seasons and they're probably going to make a 6th season. It's got like fucking movies.
It's super
and spin-off.
popular.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know.
The
like,
world's a big place.
I feel like I've heard of this one like maybe a couple times. Like I think it's a stretch to say I've never heard of it, but like I don't hear it talked about in the same like breaths as those other animes when I'm like, this is like the same thing. Like this is the same kind of like, ensemble cast, like, fucking, hero type anime, fucking, multiple season amazing thing that people like to watch. Like why isn't this like why am I only now just kind of coming to watching this? How has this not been like recommended to death at me? So
There's so much anime.
there is,
And people are busy watching Demon Slayer.
but a lot of it, as we've talked about at length on this podcast, is like close to garbage.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I still have watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
Including some of the
You
stuff
have.
that's not close to garbage, but is garbage.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'm surprised you watched.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had a horse.
Including Magical High School.
Well,
I'm still so surprised you guys fucking watched that.
that was because I didn't know why you recommended it to
Yeah, but
me.
you watched all of it still.
Well, because I mean, like, there's
could
plenty of
just stop.
animes that, like, the first season is like, okay, well, this is kind of weird, but, like, the second
but
season
you
is
just-
amazing, so it doesn't matter, you
Yeah,
know?
but he like there's like a brother-sister love subplot, like very early
What
on.
do you mean a subplot, Steve?
Okay,
It's the
you're right,
plot,
it's like
and
the
the rest
plot.
of the show
It
is a
is the whole
subplot.
plot. Yeah. How did you speaking of shows that are offensive to me,
Yes.
in retrospect,
Yes.
I watched the first couple episodes of You.
Oh, what did you think?
I guess the joke is supposed to be that like he's a creepy, weird stalker guy,
Uh-huh.
but like he is that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's great. It's fucking...
Okay.
He's he is a terrible person, and you just like you just have to keep watching him. You're just like, what is this guy gonna fucking do?
Okay. Yeah, I can't. It was too much.
Okay, all right.
I barely made it through the first 5 minutes. that speech, the way he describes her at the start of the show, it's like the writers clearly went to 4chan and just like stayed on 4chan for a while. And it's like, I live on the internet. I don't need more exposure. I don't need a TV show where the main character is like a 4chan neckbeard, but like in the body of like an attractive 30-year-old man.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, cool. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, I think.
Okay, that's fair enough. It is a good show, but like I mean, clearly it
has a lot of seasons, but no,
you've seen what you're getting, and it's just more of that. It's like
it hurts.
Watch this person fucking just do crime, crime.
It's like Dexter, but without the catharsis of killing serial killers.
Oh yeah, it's actually an excellent. It's
That's
like,
all I could think of. Is like, man, this is exactly like Dexter, but like without the like justice boner.
Yeah, there's no redeeming quality to anything that he's doing.
Quality.
It's not. It's a masterpiece, honestly, because it's like there's just nothing.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's very effective in being repellent.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's so good. I like. I can't. I love it. They have to finish it soon though, because it's like it's getting too much.
Yeah, isn't he like? Did he like moved to a different part of the country in the second season because he got caught?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I mean there needs to be some degree of like there needs to be some comeuppance, and there's not. The comeuppance has not happened.
Dexter guest spot. Dexter shows up at the end of the show and he wakes up on the table with the plastic wrap.
That's what it really is. That's what they should do. It's like it's not actually is not actually about him. It's actually just the final season of Dexter.
It's just the final season of Dexter. Yeah. And just like you can do like with Community with like the Abed pregnancy episode where like you just like if you look back on the last season of you like see Dexter in the background occasionally. Like maybe he bumps into him once. Okay. I haven't even seen the show and I'm making fan fiction here.
There you go.
But no, yeah, cool. Thank you for the suggestion, though.
Yes, no, I mean you tried. I can understand why you would bounce off that show if you were like, oh, this person is awful. It's like, yeah, that's the point. It's like, okay, but I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, that's exactly okay. That's why I wanted to talk about it because I was like, maybe it like becomes something else. But reading the synopsis, it didn't seem like it ever became anything.
You are missing nothing. It is exactly that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. No.
Did you see the Fallout trailer?
I did. Yes.
What did you think of that?
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. I almost feel like they made the Vault Overseer have a single eye just to like bullseye all of the nerd criticism onto that one aspect.
In what way?
Well, because he's a Vault Overseer, so he shouldn't have any mutations.
Oh,
right? Because he's like
okay.
been in a vault, and so like all of the Fallout nerds that's the line that they're giving, right? Like, oh, what the? So it's like I don't know. Maybe that was clever of them to like do something like that to like avoid them complaining about the fact that like the assault rifles look different or whatever. But it looks good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I honestly think that like they did a pretty good job with the the universe. I think that like it's weird. So like the main actress, right? Like she was like just doing stuff or whatever, and I was feeling weird about it. I was like, what feels weird about this? Like I'm not like because everybody else like acting strangely or whatever, like just generally being, because I was like like when you play a Fallout game, right, you interact with all sorts of very bizarre characters over the course of it, but like the main person, I was like, and then I was like, oh, it's because I'm, with the exception of Fallout 4, obviously, I'm used to Bethesda characters not talking or reacting in any way.
Interesting.
And I was like, oh yeah, if you actually voiced the dialogue in a lot of those games, it probably would come across a lot like how this person is doing it.
Yeah. Snarky.
Yeah. I was just like, I just never really thought about that, about how you actually sound in the universe of these Bethesda games. I just kind of, I don't even think about it. And so it's like, it's a weird hurdle to get over, and it should be easier because of Fallout 4 and having a voice protagonist, but honestly, I kind of found that annoying sometimes too. So
this is an aside, but it loops back. Did you watch One Piece?
No, I didn't actually watch it yet.
Okay.
I will probably inevitably watch it, but I didn't actually watch it.
I only bring it up to say that One Piece figured out how to do anime by like just making it cartoony, right? Like they figured out the translation schema finally.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Matrix can be transformed, thank God. And like it's just taking anime stuff and troping it into cartoon stuff. And I feel like maybe that revelation means that you can just do anything now. Right? Like I think the Fallout TV show is probably also going to do that.
We just hit the
right?
singularity.
It'll just like, it's just like we did it. Like we figured out the translation, like 2 + X = 4. And for the longest time, we didn't know what X was. And it's like, oh, X is 2. Duh. Anime is a cartoon. We should do the cartoon things. And so it kind of gave me that feel when I watched the trailer. And that makes me like hopeful because One Piece was great. And so if they have that same tone, right? If they can hit that tone correctly, then like this should be good.
But, having the benefit of having heard your argument more recently than you've made it, because I just, finished listening to the rest of the podcast so that I could post it.
Sure. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the whole thing that you were talking about in that is One Piece was a good candidate for that because One Piece is never cool, right?
Yes. Oh, that's right. That was my argument.
And so I wonder now, I mean, I don't think Fallout is either, to be fair. I think this actually fits nicely into your argument, although I did see that Netflix is coming out with a Yu Yu Hakusho anime adaptation, and I think that's going to fall victim to precisely what you said of, well, I think Yu Yu Hakusho at times wants to be cool.
Wait.
So
is there a trailer for that Yu Yu Hakusho?
I think there is. I didn't watch it.
I have to see that immediately. I can't. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to focus on anything else.
Okay. Yeah. You just Yu Yu Hakusho Netflix.
If there's a live action Yu Yu, oh, there is. Okay. Well, no. Wait a second. This is a Japanese Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't care about that.
Okay. Not the same. You're willing to accept that.
Well, I just don't like Japanese live action adaptations have their own feel, and I don't really like. I don't know. Maybe I like it. I don't give it a chance. If I'm completely honest.
I neither do I. I don't even.
I just kind of dismiss it. I really should go and watch. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll watch some like live action anime movies and like really see how bad they are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it never appeals to me because I'm like, I like the anime just fine. Like I don't need a live action. Like there's no advantage to it being a live action adaptation for me. It's if anything, just like I mostly just watch it out of morbid curiosity of like, how bad is this going to be?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like how much are they going to fuck this up?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah.
Oh,
if it was an American adaptation, though, I would be curious.
Yeah, actually, shit. Speaking of adaptations that Speaking of adaptations, the end of sentence. Did you see that they're doing Avatar: Last Airbender live action again? They're trying it again.
Yes.
That looked pretty good.
I did not watch the trailer, but I was aware of it coming out.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any opinion either way.
Do you want to watch the trailer?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I'll watch it.
Check it out on Netflix.
I don't know. Maybe this is unfair, but it looks like a Netflix show.
Okay. And you found that, again, so I haven't really watched anything of the One Piece. You found the One Piece did not look like a Netflix show?
No, I guess not.
That was a long pause.
I had to think about it. It's been a long time since I watched that One Piece show.
I thought I'd lost you there for a second. I was just like...
Yeah. No, I guess not. It's like, it looks like the Sci-Fi Channel CGI stuff. I don't know. It doesn't look.
All right.
It looks fine, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fan though.
Okay. See, I guess the one thing that
I say in a house of huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, I have to watch my back for the next few days.
Yeah. I mean, just don't leave your don't leave your cell for the next.
Stay here. Yeah.
No, the thing that struck me is that the casting looks perfect and the costumes look perfect.
The casting looked great. The costumes look great. Sokka looks a little weird to me.
Really? Oh, he looks like. I mean, yeah, he looks perfect to me. He actually looks.
I always imagined him as like an East Islander. I don't know.
I guess, but it's just like his appearance. Like if you look up Sokka, like I'm just like, yep, that's what he looks like. They picked a man with a very rectangular head.
I guess, yeah, he does have very. He is very live actiony. But yeah.
All right, fair enough. You know, I thought it looked. I think it's going to be a nice redemption story, hopefully, versus the fucking abysmal M. Night Shyamalan.
I mean, it better be good. Yeah, it better be,
because they really fucked it up for that one. So hopefully this one is better. Ah, shit, man. But yeah. Other than that, that's basically what's been going on. Oh, fuck. One more thing. Last thing.
Sure.
For real. I have not a correction, but I have a follow up from last time. We were talking about Batman, right? And we were talking about there was something like it was the time when in the animated series when he was doing like the ski mask stuff.
Yeah.
Mask of the Phantasm. That was what it was.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, I swear I've seen this in the animated series, but I remember watching the entire animated series and never seeing that. So I was like, so when was it? It was in Mask of the Phantasm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I had just, while we were doing the podcast, literally looked up Batman animated series ski mask, it was the first fucking Google result. But you know, this is what we do. We don't look things up when we need to. So we have to come back later. But yeah, so it's like, as soon as I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, this is like exactly how I imagined it in my mind. It's just like, there it is.
Yeah, I can picture it too. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yes, that makes sense.
Oh, sorry. I said last thing, and then I just remembered something.
That's fine.
Else.
I also have some things, so it's not even the last thing.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. You just said something that's like quick discussion. You can picture things in your head, right?
Oh God, dude! Don't even fucking start this with me. I don't fucking know. Like, it's such an ambiguous word. See in head.
It's not.
What is? No, I think it is.
No, it isn't. I mean, I can. Lauren and I have had numerous discussions about aphantasia, and for me, picturing things in my mind is very vivid and a very like not. There's no wishy-washiness about it. It's just like picture an apple in your head. Okay, I'm doing it. I am seeing a fucking apple.
See, you've just switched to the word picture. That's different.
Okay.
Okay. If you look at an object in your room.
Yep.
Okay. And then close your eyes.
Yep.
And look at that object with your eyes closed.
Yep.
See that object.
Yep.
So you can see it exactly the same way that you saw it with your eyes open.
Yes.
Okay, that's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Can you not?
I have absolutely no idea. Like, I can only ever see blackness. I can picture stuff just fine, right? But it's like I look at this cup of water, right? I'm looking at it with my eyes. Now I'm closing my eyes. There's nothing. It's blackness. Now I'm going to picture that cup, right? Done. Easy. Not hard. There it is. But I'm still seeing blackness.
Okay, but like for like a second, like, and I almost feel like it's like somehow like it's like in the like middle back of my head, right?
Yes, you're seeing it with your brain.
You're seeing it with your brain, and
you're not seeing it with your eyes.
And you see it with like in almost like a camera flashy type of way. Is the way
when I asked you earlier if you see the thing the exact same way, you said yes, but you don't, right? If based on what we've just said, you see it in the back of your brain. You don't literally see it.
But like there is a picture there, but it is, I am seeing it with my brain, not seeing it with my eyes. Yes.
And there's blackness everywhere else in your eye brain.
But for like the briefest of seconds, right? Like the briefest of milliseconds, that picture is in my brain.
I still would say I never see it.
Interesting.
I will say this though. Have you done the ball test?
What's the ball test?
Oh, okay. This is a good one. You'll probably like doing this with Lauren too. Imagine rolling a ball off a table in your head.
Yep.
Just do it.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
What color was the ball?
Oh, wow.
What color was the table?
The table was brown.
Okay, cool.
The ball was kind of grayish.
Interesting. So for me, my answer is no color. I do not perceive that I see the concept of ball and concept of table, but they are not objects with like distinct describable features.
Interesting.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But most people say a color, which I can't. I do not say a color. I do not imagine color.
Yeah,
or
it's weird.
Shape or anything like that.
I was focusing way more on the table than the ball.
But you do imagine like an actual physical object. For me, I don't even imagine that.
Oh, okay.
It's like I just imagine conceptually what would happen.
Yeah.
But there's no actual image to accompany it.
My table was very much like the table that actually the new dining room table that we just bought.
Yeah.
It was very much that table.
So you don't have that Fantasia. Yeah. You clearly don't have it.
Yeah, no, I know I don't, because I mean, like, I've done several of these things where it's like, like take an object, like take an apple, okay, change that apple's color, rotate that apple around. Although I did find, so because I was watching something about aphantasia, and I found that because she asked, like, describe, like, picture an apple, then change the color, and that was easy. But then she said to turn it, and I was like, well, hang on a second. I was picturing like a two-dimensional picture of an apple. Now I have to reframe in order to make this a 3D object. Like, this wasn't a 3D object before. Now you're asking me to fucking flip it around? Like, I can't do that because I need it to be a 3D object instead of just picturing an apple.
Yes. Interesting. That's an interesting one. I guess for aphantasia, I'm sure there's people who are actually legitimately aphantasia-esque.
Yeah.
Whatever the correct ending of that word is. But like, I think like the other like 98% of people who think they have it, it's one of two things. It's either there's a confusion on what people mean when they say see the object in your head, right? I think there's a lot of people imagining it as like 100% exactly like what your eyes are doing, right? Which is easy to do because of language. And then the other one is just like, it's a skill that you can practice.
Yes.
And so like, I don't do it a lot, and so I'm bad at it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
There's also, so I'll do the other one then, that goes along with that one, not hearing thought and having no internal monologue.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely have. I mean, it's why I suck at reading so bad, because I can't not read in my head.
I can switch between the two.
I know. I'm so fucking envious of that.
Nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, I'm going to stop thinking inside of my head now.
You know what's weird,
like,
though? So, because that one definitely is a skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a skill because when I'm reading Japanese, like the rudimentary stuff, like the children's book stuff that I'm now capable of reading.
That's awesome, though.
I don't remember what all of the kanji mean all the time. Like, I don't remember how to say all of them all the time, but I know what they mean by their visuals. And so I actually read Japanese way the fuck faster than I can read English.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I could just look at the thing. I'm like, okay, well, I know what that means, so I can move on to the next, but I don't remember how to say it. And so it's just like, even if I wanted to, I couldn't even turn my internal monologue on.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
So
I definitely love the fact that I can do that.
Yeah. So I wish that I could learn to do that with English, because it's like my brain just wants so badly to say the word in my head, when it's like, no. You know what this word fucking means. You don't have to say it in your head, but I can't help it because it's English.
If I get like really tired, I'll start saying it in my head, and it's so annoying. Because I can't stop.
Yeah.
If I get caught in that loop where it's like, okay, now I'm actually reading the words that are on and it's like, oh god, this is the worst. This sucks. Yeah. I hate this.
That's
the flow.
That's my reading all the time.
Oh, that's so. Oh, I understand why you don't want to read a lot.
This is okay. We finally got to the bottom of it. This is what I mean by I love books. I hate reading.
Oh my god, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Dude, I just casually read 200,000 words yesterday. I was like, I'm just going to read this book.
Weird flex, but okay.
I'm sorry. I read a lot of fanfiction,
no,
as you know. And so
it's just fine.
I know exactly down to the letter how many words I'm reading, because there's a word count for every story. So it's like, this story is 52,342 words.
Yeah.
And so, that's all.
It's you just said it with the exact same cadence that some dude just coming in and was like, I just did 450 push-ups today.
Yeah, sorry. No, it was kind of a flex. I will admit. Yeah, I don't have That's what I get.
It's what you get. Hey, look, I wish. You read the words, but man, I have to say all of those words in my head one at a time.
Oh, that's a nightmare. Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah,
definitely.
So yeah, I can speed read Japanese, but I can't fucking speed read English because of my stupid idiot brain.
That's crazy. Yeah, wow. That's cool though.
Yeah. All right, hit me with your other things. What else
okay.
You got?
I put a song in the Discord Two Brothers thing.
Ooh, all right.
I don't know if you ever heard of the Keygen Church.
I have not.
I don't know. It's kind of a gimmick, but this is too long to listen to during the podcast. But if you listen to the first minute, you'll understand what it is.
So it's piano music?
Yeah, an organ.
Oh, damn.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's all. It's just a gimmick band thing. I think it's from some video game even.
Okay. just love that. It's just,
But
just like amazing piano concerto, and then just fucking like metal.
yeah, I thought you'd enjoy
I
it.
did enjoy that. I love shit like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a gimmick, but you know what? It's a gimmick that works.
It's great. No, it's really good. Yeah, and they don't like overdo it. Yeah. It's good.
Gimmicks become gimmicks because they're effective.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, as soon as I listened to it, I was like, I just have to show this to Jason. He'll love it.
Hell yeah. No, I do love that.
Yeah. I play any good video games lately.
So I'm in the middle of Pentiment right now. Which is that one. I don't know if you probably saw. It's like that one where it's like like a I don't know if it's like point and click adventures. Maybe it sort of is a point and click adventure a little bit, but it's like it's the one that's like it's all done as if it's like an illuminated manuscript.
Ooh, yeah, I have heard of this. This looks, yeah, I remember thinking this would look really good.
Yeah, it is enjoyable. I mean, it's basically like, you know, at its core, is it really any different than like the David Cage games of like you go to place and you click dialogue options and then you go to a different place and click more dialogue options? No, I mean that is really ultimately what it is. But I mean, it is a deduction game in the sense that like, you know, you are trying to like solve crimes. And like, you know, there's a limited amount of time to do so you can't collect all of the information that you want to collect. So you have to basically make, you know, determinations based on what information you do get. And I haven't finished it, so I don't know if they like you inevitably get revealed what the actual answers are, or if you just kind of like, you know, make your guesses and just kind of hope you were not sending an innocent person to their death. But like it's I'm finding it compelling and interesting, and it's all set in like, you know, what, like 1500s maybe, something like that. You know,
okay.
It's around the time of like Martin Luther and like Diet of Worms and all that. So I don't know exactly what time period that is, but 16th century. So yeah, probably 16th century is the 1500s. Yeah, I was right. Look at me. I remembered a thing. Yeah,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's I mean, it's, you know, I like to Disco Elysium a lot, and it's got some elements of that are cool.
It's medieval Disco Elysium.
It's not, because Disco Elysium is so wild and fucking weird, but like it is not that. So I'm down with it.
Oh yeah.
And what is this you've just sent me?
Okay, yeah. So ignore the right side. That's just my other screen.
Yes.
That's just Discord. But this is Cataclysm: Dark Days Ahead.
Yeah, you've been playing this a lot.
Yeah, this is the game I've been playing, like essentially just breathing it as my air for the last 2 months. It's like a survival horror RPG game, but it's also just an everything simulator. You essentially just start as a person right at like the beginning of the ultra apocalypse, so to speak.
Okay.
It's like it's not like a regular zombie apocalypse, right? Where like a person gets bitten and then like they bite other people and those people become zombies.
Okay.
It's like everyone became zombies all at the same time.
Okay.
Except for like a tiny percentage of people.
Uh-huh.
So there's not like 1 zombie, 2 zombie, 4 zombie, 8 zombie. There's 8 billion zombie immediately.
And like 12 people.
And like 12 people. And you're just one of those people. And you have to like live in this world now that's full of zombies and other like interdimensional horrors, and you know, like the reality has collapsed in on itself essentially.
Okay.
But your tools are reality itself. Like it's like you can just like, you know, walk up to a locker and like disassemble it for like screws and wood and metal. And it's like Minecraft and The Sims combined with like every like Left 4 Dead and, you know, all those zombie games. It's insane. It's like an insane reality simulator game. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, it's Zombie Apocalypse Dwarf Fortress.
Exactly. Yes, precisely.
I mean, I can see the graphics, so I'm like, okay, this is Dwarf Fortress, but with zombies.
Yes, that's why I wanted to put the graphics up here, because it looks like Dwarf Fortress, and it plays much like Dwarf Fortress. You have to learn the whole keyboard layout control scheme that's like arcane and crazy, right? But like once you get used to it, you can like do anything you want. And it's crazy. And there's also like magic and like psionics and cybernetics, and you know, so it has also all of those things. And then like if you want, you can also like settle down somewhere and like build a base and like recruit people and like do quests and like have them do stuff for you and like create outposts, and like you can just play. It's also Kenshi, like, you know. It's ridiculous.
It's everything that you like. It's basically like taking the idea of an immersive sim to its nth degree.
Yes, exactly. It is the ultimate immersive sim. It's just like, hey, you can just. It's like I spend like real hours just like repairing my car in that game.
All right.
Just like getting an acetylene torch and like learning how to weld metal so I can then like repair the frame of my car because I ran over zombies an hour ago with it, right? And it's like that level of realism in a game where I can also at the same time like summon spiritual armor and a holy blade and then like sprint across a road toward a guy shooting at me with an M16 while throwing fireballs at him and then teleporting behind him and using ninjutsu to chop his head off in one blow. And it's like, that's the same game. And then I can just like go home and like cook like red beans and rice and like read a book while listening to my MP3 player. And it like tells me what individual kind of song I'm listening to as it comes up. And like my character is like, ooh, I like this like reggae beat, or like, ooh, actually, you know what? I'm not really a big fan of this like industrial stuff. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what a ridiculous game. It's so good.
Man, it's like, you have played a lot of games like this, and
Oh, you shouldn't play it.
Oh, I'm not going to.
You would hate it.
I can't. Like, it's funny because it's like I know there was a point in my life where I was like, I wish there was a game like this, and I think at the time that Minecraft came about, that was basically the game. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is the everything game, and I did sink and have sunk subsequently many, 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 many hours into Minecraft, but like, I just can't do it anymore, man.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I get it. You got a lot going on.
But you know what I love about these games is watching people's like playthrough. Like, this to me is peak somebody else play it and I'll watch.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, you should.
Yeah, like I love watching Dwarf Fortress videos. I would probably love watching this.
You would love this.
I did watch a video of Kenshi. He was like, he gave himself like the Kenshi like doomed start. Like just torso.
The torso.
Yeah,
torso. 1 hour torso. Is that the one?
1 hour torso. Yeah.
Oh, you not seen that one?
No. Yeah, I have seen it. That's the one. Yeah. No, I'm just laughing because it's just anybody. If you said this, it's like, oh yeah, if you watch Kenshi 1 hour torso, people would be like, I'd like to report a crime, please.
Yeah, but it's like, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that video.
So it's like this. I mean, this is amazing. Like, I mean, this seems like it absolutely ripe for that kind of thing.
There's some hilarious starts, just like trapped on like an aircraft carrier.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Full of zombies. Yeah, it's just like, it's so cool.
Yeah, it requires a level of mental commitment that I apparently can only give to watching hours and hours of trashy guys. But can't commit to a video game.
So you should add this to your rotation of YouTube things to watch.
No, I 100%. I will. Yeah. This looks pretty dope. The possibility. I love the possibility space.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's a lot.
Yes. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, shall we?
Good podcast.
Yeah. Right. No.
Great. Oh, should we just do a second podcast right now?
Yeah. Oh, maybe we just pick some random albums and then just do
let's pick some random albums. What do you think? I think maybe I'll do Mr. Bungled.
Yeah. So how do you want to do this? Because I feel like I want to talk about the Mr. Bungle albums together, but we can split them up if you would prefer.
Oh, sure. We can do yours first.
Is that are you cool with that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I just feel like I want to talk about Mr. Bungle in one big sweep.
Yes, sure. That's good. No, I think that's appropriate.
Okay. So let me at least we'll set up the albums first, and then you can tell me what order you want to go in. But so I picked two very, very different albums.
Yes, indeed.
I don't remember I don't think I warned you, but I probably should have warned. It's like, don't listen to these back to back. It's gonna ruin the vibe of one is gonna ruin the vibe of the other one. So like, just keep them apart. Like, but so I Tycho Dive and Death: The Sounds of Perseverance. And so Dive to me, this is an album that I recommended just because I think this is like some of the best like produced and made electronic music that like I know. Like, it's just like I started listening to this album like long before you got me into electronic music, so I already appreciated it from like that element of it. And now going back and listening to it, and also like watching videos of this guy and his like production, I'm like, oh, this guy is a genius. So that I was like, I don't know if you're gonna like. It is a very chill album. It's an album that I mostly listen to when I'm like reading and stuff, or like back in the day doing homework or whatever. Like, so it's. I was curious what you were going to think of the album, because it is kind of a very chill album, but like to me this is like some peak electronic music. And then Cloud of Perseverance is just I honestly I didn't know if you're going to like this, but it's just like this is to me the peak, the other side of just crazy, insane, like weird, technical, awesome death metal. And I was just like, whether you like it or not, I just want to talk about it. So that's why I recommended it. And then I requested you recommend 2 Bungle albums. And why did you pick these particular 2?
Yeah, this was a real struggle to pick 2 Mr. Bungle albums, because I definitely would have done 3.
Okay.
Because regardless of how I would have done this, I would have left out one important album. Mm-hmm. And so the album that I did not add here... Oh yeah, Disco Volante, of course.
Okay.
It's like, because in a way, Disco Volante might be their best album, but like, I wanted to show, like, I needed to put the first album on there. I felt like, because, you know, it's their first album.
Yep.
It says a lot about what they are.
Yep.
Just by virtue of being first.
Yep.
And then California is like as far as you can get away from the first album in a way. At least in terms of still being Mr. Bungle.
Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling you were gonna make that caveat to it, and yes. Okay.
Yes. And so it's not like California's not as good as Disco Volante, obviously, but like I didn't want to put Disco Volante on there.
No, fair enough.
Just because I felt like it's like the synthesis of these 2 albums almost in a way. Kind of, it's their most middle of the road album, but like I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean that in like tonally
middle of their road, not middle of the road.
It's like they're like really good experimental transitional album, and I feel like you need to have listened to Mr. Bungle first to like appreciate what Disco Volante is.
Okay,
and so, but also California is my favorite album by them. So
okay,
you know.
Okay, fair enough.
It was just going to go on there regardless.
Yeah, I've had similar struggles with bands that have 3 albums when I need to pick 2.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So this was especially hard. These are the 2 I went with, though. Is obviously their first album, and then California ultimately, just because it's my favorite.
Okay, fair enough. So what order do you want to go in between Tycho and Death?
Let's do Tycho first.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
Then Death.
And then, and then we're going to go Mr. Bungle in California.
That's certainly the order I wish I'd listened to them in. And I wish you'd given me the advice of not listening to them back to back as well. The first time I did listen to Death first and then tried to get into Tycho. Although, to be fair, I will say, I think you've shown me Tycho before.
I have, but every time I mention it, you seem very confused. And so I was like, okay, I know I've sent this to you, but I'm gonna try to refresh you and see if.
Yeah.
I also struggled with this one because I was gonna recommend another one by Tycho. But it's not the one that I listened to the most, although I think it's because I've just listened to this one so much more before I like actually listened to any of his other stuff. His better album, in my opinion, is actually Awake. And if you liked any of this, you should just go listen to Awake, because Awake is like really the album that I should have recommended, but I was like, but I have to recommend Dive. I have to. It's the only correct thing to do. So what'd you think? Tell me what you thought about Tycho. Yeah. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so I definitely have some of these songs on my like regular rotation.
Actually. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I love at least half of these songs for sure.
Okay.
A Walk is great. I love it. That's like one of like, I immediately recognized it as soon as it came on because I listen to it pretty regularly still.
Okay, cool.
Great song. And it's very chill, but it has like that, you know, it obviously picks up, right, with that like really sort of like ethereal beat that is very signature for this whole album.
Yeah, I mean his thing of pulling in, like, because he pulls in a lot of guitars and he pulls in a lot of like drums, like, you know, actual like physical instrument samples.
Yes.
And then just like blends them into this like gorgeous, like chill texture, basically, is like, I feel like just like the hallmark of all the stuff that he does.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of L1011, like a lot of like post-rock kind of. That
Very
kind of just
post-rocky,
like,
yeah.
yeah, because of the drums and the guitar, but used in this like electronic way. It's a very calming album.
Yeah, very sparse. There's like lyrics occasionally, you know, but they're, you know, again, more like texture in general across this thing. Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. When I need to read, this is what I put on.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a good reading. Yeah, so A Walk is great. I love it. It, you know, starts strong, finishes strong. Hours.
I love the kind of the like, I'm going to use your word because you always say this, and this is not the word I was looking for, but like off tuning.
Oh yes, yeah. It's flat or whatever.
Yeah, it's like flat and sharp. I mean, like he's, you know, he's doing a lot with, you know, manipulating the actual pitch.
Yes, and this one in particular is even more dreamy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you know,
the dreamlike quality is very heavy on this song.
It's interesting, and I never really heard this until somebody had pointed it out, but people compare this album in particular and his work in general to Boards of Canada a lot. It's not the same, but I think that he does like a very, like, it's like a very chill kind of Boards of Canada thing.
Yes, this is the lo-fi beats to chill and relax to version of Boards of Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one weirdly counting, you know, there's no weird child counting in the background, so it's not Boards of Canada.
Exactly.
But, you know, if he added it, then it would be.
Yeah. But you need that. You need that weird child counting.
1, 2, 3,
4. Sunflowers under the ocean.
Yeah,
the life of a full-grown male squid.
That is, it's such a good album, but it's such a fucking weird album, man.
Yeah, but it's so good. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, Gio Gotti, it's just like, it's, you know,
yeah,
it's a thing, man.
It's so good.
But yeah, no, this, like, I find this album, when I listen to any individual song, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, this one. But like, when I'm listening to this album, I have so much trouble picking out individual songs in any kind of meaningful way, because I'm so used to just putting this album on, and then when it stops, putting it back on again so I can continue reading whatever I'm reading.
Yeah, it's hard to pick out particular stuff because it all kind of does. It is very much an album of tone.
And yeah, how do you find that? Because I know you generally listen to electronic music on like a song by song basis versus like a whole album. Like, did this get too samey for you, or?
I mean, I essentially just put this on like you do while reading.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all of this is one song, really, to me.
Yeah, that's usually how I feel about it.
Yeah. But that said, though, I would say, I mean, I definitely like A Walk a lot. What's the other one? I think, what is it? Oh, and by the way, I do like the end bit in Daydream here, where it like sort of kicks off 1435-ish, little breakdown.
No, he's so many interesting drum beats.
Yes, I was just gonna say the bass lines, yes.
Oh yeah, I mean the bass lines. There's a surprising amount of like funk in this for something that's so like laid back.
It's very funky. It's a very funky album. I mean, you gotta have it. If you're gonna be this laid back, you gotta have something driving your song forward.
Gotta bring the funk.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of funk beat. Yeah, and this is great. This part's great. Probably the best part of this song. Let's see here. I think Dive is another one I keep on my playlist. Yes.
Yeah, the beginning of Dive is just, it's perfect.
Yeah. So good. And the little...
Yeah, I mean, like, he uses vocals very sparsely, but when he uses them, they're so good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this better be one of the best songs. It is the eponymous.
Yeah, you gotta have your eponymous track be good.
Yeah.
Your hippopotamus.
Someone tried to convince me once that eponymous wasn't a word.
Yeah, it was us. It was me and Dad.
Yeah, it was you and Dad. Yeah, goddamn you guys.
Because it just didn't sound like a word.
Yeah.
And this was, you know, before phones. So
yeah,
it was...
that's not a word. It's like, what the fuck? I'm glad you remember that, though. It makes me feel less crazy.
Oh, yeah. You're not crazy. It's just, yeah, I remember that very strongly because I've used the word eponymous a ton now because I'm like, oh, it's a real word.
Yeah, it's a real word. And it means the thing you're trying to say with a sentence.
I also have to mention, like, the breathing in the beginning of a walk, also so good. It's like around 45 seconds on the album.
Breathing in.
Maybe it's a little bit. No, it's actually a little bit before. It's like 44.
Oh, that's breathing in?
Yeah, just.
Oh, I thought those were like a weird kind of like symbol.
No, I think it's just a breath in, and it's just like
oh, that's cool.
Like I get like frisson from that.
You get frisson while listening to music?
Do you not?
No.
Oh my God. We have vastly different experiences in our lives. I'm picturing things and getting frisson, and Steven is just like speed reading through his 12th read through of Wheel
I'm
of
just
Time.
raw dogging it out here. I get very little feedback from my brain.
We find out later you actually were a brain in a jar the whole time.
Oh my God. Well, it's okay. I like Cataclysm, so I can just play that.
Just pouring Cataclysm into your brain jar.
No, dude, it's crazy. Just like that, those 2 months, I started thinking in Cataclysm because like it's like every turn is 1 second essentially, and so you're like everything you do is like perfectly like. I'm sorry to do an aside here.
It's fine. No, go for it.
It's just like it was very weird to be like, okay, if I can wake up, that's gonna take like 2 moves, and that's gonna like 2 seconds, and then like it's like, and you don't when you're not moving, time's not moving, right? And so like I would be sitting there brushing my teeth. And be like, okay, it's fine. I'm not moving right now. So, like, time's not passing. And it's like, wait a second, Steven. This is reality. Calm down. Time is still passing right now. That was in deep.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. I mean, that it's a sign of a good game, though, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, when you start, like, your life becomes that. It's like when you start dreaming about Tetris.
Yeah. Yeah, the Tetris effect, but with Cataclysm, which I think is much more terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, yes, the breathing in part and walk is very good.
Like every time I hear that, it's just like it's immediately I'm like, all right, cool, we're doing this album now. I was like, it's so good.
Yeah, the vocals on Dive are great. I love the like female high pitched dive.
More breathing. There's like I think it's like 2007 on the album.
Yeah.
He uses like breathing samples a lot, and it's like it blends really nicely with like a lot of the like reverby stuff because he does a lot of like very like washy reverby stuff in this that like those breaths along with that just make everything what was that it was on your mixtape. It was that one guy he did like I can't remember what the name of the track was, but it had a very like acoustic quality to it while still being electronic music.
Okay,
I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, Nicholas Poshberg. The Nicholas Poshberg track.
Nicholas Poshberg.
Yeah. Turmon Welton.
Turmon, yeah, yes.
I feel like him and Taiko are both doing a very similar thing of blending these like acoustic and electronic elements in a very seamless way that is appealing to me.
Interesting. Acoustic is not a word I would use to describe this album at all, if I'm honest. What is acoustic?
Acoustic is maybe the wrong term. Like physical instruments.
Okay,
right?
Sure. Okay,
is what I mean when I say that. Not acoustic.
I
physical
see.
instruments.
Then, yeah, sure. I see what you're saying. Then, yeah, that's okay. I get what you're saying. I didn't really even think of these as being instruments. You think these are actual instruments?
Well, yeah, because I think he uses like actual drum samples. Like I think a lot of the drums are like either partially or completely like real acoustic drums that he blends with like probably in some cases electronic drums, and like he uses a lot of actual guitar and stuff like in this, and like he blends that all with like the electronic elements just in a really it's just in a very nice way.
I have trouble hearing the real, at least on this song. Maybe I should go to a different song. It's like maybe he's so successful that I just can't tell.
Well, I think he's also like in a lot of cases heavily processed them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I believe you. My ear does not hear that.
And that's part of the trick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is, like...
So he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's very retro wave. Like, I'm a surfer in the 80s, and I have like a bust of some Greek or Roman figure in my car, Yeah. And my car's a pink, like, muscle car. That's what this album is.
How much of that, I wonder, is conjured up by the album art?
Some of it, surely.
Because it's just funny you went surfer, you know?
Yeah, it sounds surfery though.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a very watery feeling to this album, especially with like the amount
And the funk.
And the funk.
Funk.
But not the funk.
No funk. Thank God. I don't know. Ascension is even chiller than the rest of the album, if that was possible.
Yeah.
It's maybe a little too chill for me, I'll be honest. It's fine, but I wouldn't pick it out of a lineup, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, especially because it comes right after Coastal Break.
Exactly, which is an amazing song.
Yeah, Coastal Break is such like I feel like it's a kind of a high point in terms of energy for the album.
Yes. It's the best driving song for sure.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Such a good driving song. Yeah, and then Melanine.
The riff in the middle is really nice. With like the kind of like the wow synth.
Very prog, to break down to that acoustic.
Mm-hmm. And there's almost kind of like an interesting timing with the strums of the acoustic versus the rest of it. Like there feels like there's like it's not all like directly on the bar line, you know?
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's a good transition song to what is the, back half of this album essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least the denouement, I guess I should say. Man, that opening to Adrift though.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
This is the one that reminds me the most of Boards of Canada.
Oh, interesting.
Like when people make that comparison,
Yes.
I'm like, they were thinking of Adrift
Yeah,
when
they were
made
yes.
that comparison.
I agree. This also reminds me of the Back Rooms.
Of the back rooms.
Yeah.
Like just like the concept, or like is there a thing?
Both.
Okay.
This opening sounds like a lot of like the Back Rooms music stuff.
Oh, there's back rooms music?
Yeah, I mean, music that is played over Back Rooms stuff.
Oh, okay.
Is Back Rooms music.
I didn't know. I was wondering if there was actually like a back rooms genre.
I mean,
like,
there definitely is. I'm sure there is. I don't know what it is though. It might be terrifying in a bad way.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, but in like a TikTok way.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel like Adrift, if you put it on GeoGotti, you might not even notice it was there. And I love that kind of, I mean, like that's kind of getting back to what you were talking about of like the kind of chill wave aesthetic, I mean, that's very VHS, low bit rate, fucking, bit crushed music and all that, which I mean, I love. So this is right up my alley in that regard.
Yeah, no, it's pretty stupendous. And of course the like, it is wavy. It's like, I mean, obviously the song is Adrift, and he does a good job of like conveying that quality here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so like towards the end of Adrift, right? Like around like 140, 4120. No, it's later than that. Like 4150. That I think you should because he really pulls back on the production. I think you can really hear like the actual true drums. Like I think that's a drum sample or a drum kit being played and then processed. Still some, but significantly less than some of the other places on the album.
I mean, if you say so. I believe you.
I think that's the case. I'm fully prepared to be wrong, but I think that is the case.
Yeah, I can't tell if I'm honest, but I don't have an ear for this, so
I may or depending on if I was right or wrong, may or may not have an ear for it.
Yeah, or you have a reverse ear, which is just as good,
or worse. Who knows? And
then I mean, the last two songs, I don't know, Exist. Epigram is good. It's a nice little finisher, but it's pretty short. I don't know. Does it have any really good parts in here? I don't remember. I mean, it's a fun song. Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of just close out the album.
Yeah,
I do like around halfway through Elegy. There's like a really hard electronic kick going in there. It's like it's very soft, but he's I think he is side chaining it to some degree, so you get that kind of like pump. It's weirdly powerful for like how quiet the song is.
No, yeah, I do. I get that. It has a very driving beat.
Yeah, but it's still so chill, which is like, and that's what I'm talking about of like this album. I almost have trouble talking about this album because it is very good. And so it's very hard to like nitpick or pick anything out really. Cause it's like, everything is just really well done. It's like, he's just made a good thing. And you're just like, oh, okay, cool. But I don't really know what to say about that other than I like it.
It's like eating a cheeseburger. It's like, this is a delicious cheeseburger. It had all of the elements that I would expect, delivered expertly, cooked to perfection. It was juicy and delicious, and now I've eaten it.
You know the what that reminds me of is you know the Parks and Rec episode where they do the burger cook-off?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, oh wow, yeah, this this kale and like brioche
Turkey
with the
brioche.
it's so delicious, and I love the elements of flavor and blah blah blah, and then they like they fucking he's like, I take beef and I put cheese on it. This burger wins.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay,
Very
just
simple.
And the thing is, it sounds simple, and I think that like underlying this is actually a ton of very like meticulous.
Oh God, of course.
But it's like it's done so effortlessly that I'm like, I sometimes like forget how good this album is until like I like focus my brain and I'm like, okay, listen to an individual song. I'm like, okay, yeah, actually that rules. And especially now having made songs and having a much better production background, I like listen to this. I'm like, shit, man. How does he do that? How does he do it so good? It's like, how does he make that work so perfectly? So very, very envious of how good this fucking album is. So you liked it?
It's a masterpiece. Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah. All right, cool. So then let's talk about Death.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a very good album.
Okay, cool. So you liked it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right.
I mean, like, I like the vocals, so that helps.
Okay, yeah.
They're like, I don't know, they're sufficiently metally without being like, silly.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't Cookie Monster.
Yeah, he does a Cookie Monster, so that's nice.
He's actually got way more of like a black metal delivery as far as I'm concerned. Like it's very high and like screechy, which is interesting because you don't hear a lot of death metal bands really do that anymore.
Yeah, but this is Death. This is the original.
Death. In a lot of cases, yes. I mean, I think that people consider Death to be the original death metal band.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, I mean, this is a good song. I like this Scavenger of Human Sorrow. I really like the vocals, especially.
Okay.
On this song. I feel like this was a good intro song to this album. I can like understand what he's saying, which is nice. The drums get a little hectic.
Oh, at times. That's why I love this. The drums on this, just this whole album, are peak insanity. Like, I don't know what anyone is doing on this entire album. It's just fucking nonsense. And yet, it comes together somehow. Like if this album, let me just talk for just a little bit.
Sure,
this is my favorite metal album ever.
Oh, okay.
This is it. This is number one. Okay. Like, and I've thought about this a lot because it's like the only other real contender I think to this is maybe Watershed by Opeth, which is just a masterful fucking. But like, Watershed is great, but it's very well made and produced. This feels like it's barely fucking held together with like duct tape and like silly putty. Like it feels like this album is trying to explode. And that's the most metal thing that I can think of. And it's just crazy. Like the riffs are insane. The drumming is insane. He's fucking like screeching his ass off on this. And like, there's so many like, it just like, it feels like he's like there's these, they start one idea and then they just fucking change their mind and just start doing something else. And then they fucking change their mind and just start doing something else. And yet somehow through all of that bullshit, this album somehow pulls together to work. And I don't understand how they pulled that off. And I also find it a little bit crazy because he didn't want to make this album. Like he had started. So the main guy, Chuck, whatever his name is, I can't remember his last name. Good old Chuck. Yeah. So he wanted to move on to his new band. Chuck Schuldiner? We're gonna go with Schuldiner.
I was gonna joke Schumacher, but I would have been close.
You were close. He wanted to move on to Controlled Denied, which was his next band. Like he felt like he had done everything with Death that he wanted to do, and he wanted to move on to his next band. But he had a contract, I believe, to make one more album, and so he made this. And wow. I feel like the production of this album, like it almost feels kind of raw. Like they didn't spend as much time like getting it, fully produced. And I like it more because of that. I feel like it almost sounds like this, even though this was like the last album by an extremely like influential and
important
it feels like this was recorded in a fucking garage, you know? And like,
Yeah. Wow,
like,
that makes the title of the album way more insane.
oh yeah, I know, right?
It's literally the sound of his perseverance. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it puts it into context, eh?
So subtle. My favorite song is probably, it's tough.
I really like Bite the Pain, honestly.
Well, I was gonna say it's probably between Bite the Pain and maybe To Forgive Is to Suffer.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Those are nice, digestible songs, and they got a lot of action in them. There's a lot of like distinct parts happening. I mean, some of these, you know, metal is not my peak favorite genre of music.
Yes.
So some of these songs do kind of wear on me, just a little bit with their length and samity. But I love the off-tonal stuff in this song, Bite the Pain.
Yeah.
And I love the part at like 10 minutes, I think.
Let me listen.
Ooh, yeah, around 10 minutes, like 9:55, and then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Just
those
like
parts,
fucking just going nuts. Just,
yeah, and then but then it turns into this like crazy bit at what, like maybe 10:25. What is it? I'm just listening. Where was it?
yeah. With the bass.
I gotta say 10:25. Yeah, I just like all those parts.
The bass on this album is so on point.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, I lied. I have no idea what he's saying in this song at all. I understood the first song's lyrics, but I still like it though. It's still good. I just can't decipher them. Oh yes. Oh, no, there we go. 10:50, like 10:55.
10:55.
What's that? Oh. Yeah. This might be my favorite song on the album. You're right. This is really good.
Bite the Pain is the other one that's
really
fucking
good.
Amazing though. Story to Tell.
Story to Tell. Which one was that? Oh, this one, number 4.
It just so grooves so hard in the beginning.
Yeah, but Story to Tell, but it does the thing that like, I mean, it is very hard, but it's just like, it's just death metal, or just, sorry, it's classical music transcribed to death metal. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's classical music that has that big fucking China symbol. Just blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. I guess it's not quite that, but that was my memory of it at least. Sometimes metal bands go a little overboard with that stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I like this so much is because I feel like this is not too much that.
No, you're right. That was kind of an unfair. I just remembered it that way.
It's all right. It's a fair criticism of a lot of metal, and I feel like that's why this album is just. It feels very unique. Like I don't think I've ever heard anything like this.
Because at 1950 it does the arpeggio. That's why. Okay, I knew there was a part where I thought it was a little bit over much, but it's a pretty small nitpick, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you know. I will also say, so the drummer on this album, Richard Christie,
Richard Christie. Why does that name sound so familiar?
He is, I think he's the band drummer for what's his face, Howard Stern.
Oh, Iced Earth.
And yeah, he's also Iced Earth. Yep.
Oh, fucking Iced Earth. No wonder this fucking drumming sounds so familiar.
Yeah, that one Iced Earth album, one or two Iced Earth albums, he was on that.
That's awesome. And Archeon, and wow.
Okay. He makes judicious use of both the ride bell and the China symbol, which are my two favorite symbols. And I appreciate it. He is a drummer after my own heart.
Oh yeah, he did Horror Show. Oh my god, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's probably one of the best metal drummers ever. He's so fucking good. And it's crazy too, because it's like the previous drummer for Death was Gene Hoglan, Devin Townsend's drummer for Strapping Young Lad.
Really? Wow.
And I think that as much as I fucking love Gene Hoglan, I feel like I like Richard Christie's shit on Death even more than I like Gene Hoglan's stuff. Because Gene Hoglan he's so polished. Like all of his stuff sounds so like oh man, this was played on a fucking drum machine. Oh wait, no, it's Gene Hoglan. Whereas like Richard Christie just sounds like he's fucking losing his shit, you know?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, Story to Tell is very good. That end bit is also really nice, around like 2050, 23, I guess.
23?
Where it like slows down a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I love this, like this breakdown.
Yeah, it's very nice. Ooh, and then the solo comes in.
Like, if I only had one metal album, this would be the one I'd pick. It's just, this is like metal maximalism is what this is. You know, it's just all of the things in one thing, and then they somehow make it not like a mess somehow. God, oh fuck, I love this breakdown and story. I love this whole album. I just, it's funny, like as different as Tycho and this album are, I feel like I've listened to both of these equally as much, and I will just put them on for things because I'm just like, I like love listening to these.
Yeah, I guess I don't like Flesh and the Power It Holds overall, but I do love the part at 2730.
Oh yeah, with the like ride bell. I mean, that is this song, honestly.
Well, no, it gets silly. Let's be fair. It becomes very silly. The song becomes very silly. Very, very silly for like a minute at the end. Where is it? Like 29:30, does it start? Something around that?
Yeah.
29:30.
This kind of just like,
yeah.
All right, I'm just going to go like walk over here and start weirdly guitar soloing for a while.
Like, it's a really good thing I have thick calluses on my finger. There'd be blood everywhere right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't need this. I mean, it's cool. Like, it sounds good and everything. I just don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, if I could
Very
skip
impressive.
a song, it might be this one.
Exactly, yeah. But it's also the longest song, though.
I know.
I think. And so it's like I guess they didn't put the most effort into it, but like...
Yeah, maybe it was the one day they couldn't figure out where to go, and so they just went everywhere.
So it's just, nowhere. And then there's an instrumental bit after that, which is fine. I don't know. It doesn't really have the same energy as the rest of the song.
It's okay.
Then to forgive us to suffer.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of Forgive Us on the drums is just all of the drums. He just played all the drums.
That's not my favorite part, though. It's after that, when the, like, guitar kicks in.
Oh, yes.
Around 38:30. Yeah, here we go. Skip all that arpeggio bullshit. Start shredding.
Yeah.
Now that's how y'all do it now.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. And then they slow it back down. Like, after that 38:30, and then they go, like, to the slowed down part. I love that so much. Because, like, the drums are still going, like, crazy, but, like, the guitars are basically, like, playing, like, a halftime thing. And it's like...
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's, like... It's so fucking, like... It's, like... It's almost funky. Like, in just, like, how, like... I don't know. It's just... It's got a groove. Now, funky's wrong. It's got a groove to it.
I prefer American classical groove.
American classical groove.
Have you heard that one yet?
No.
That's the new term for jazz. American classical.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's true, but also at the same time, come on.
If it's not from the American classical region, then it's just sparkling jazz.
Sparkling jazz. That's funny. The ending of this is also great. The like distortion stuff.
Oh God.
Very good. And then it leads into it gives a good energy to Moment of Clarity. And then, we eventually get to my actual favorite song on the album.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about the cover of Painkiller.
Which is the amazing Judas Priest cover.
This is the best fucking cover of Pain. Might be better than the actual song Painkiller.
Exactly, yeah, no, 100%.
It's like, oh my God, I fucking love this cover of Painkiller. Because I mean, when you listen to, I think it was Rob Halford, is that, yes, okay, correct. Good job, me. I mean, Rob Halford goes hard, all right?
Yes,
but
of
like,
course.
My God, Chuck is losing his fucking mind on this one.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, yeah. I wish he sung like this the entire album.
I don't think that he could.
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. Let him have vocal damage. I'm not his doctor.
Yeah, well, he didn't make it that long, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah. He died of a brain cancer?
Oh, okay. So he could have done this, and it's fine. His voice wouldn't have lasted. His voice would have overlasted him. Hey, he's in the ground now.
Fucking no one's Godfather death metal.
No one's going to listen to this. If a relative of his does listen to this, I apologize in advance. But you're not going to, so you're never going to hear that.
This is the one that's going to... I mean, you complained about neckbeards and Wheel of Time, so this is the one that's going to skyrocket us into popularity.
Great. Hell yeah. Awesome. If a forest falls, do squirrels hear it or something?
Man, just sage words.
Thank you. I know. Yeah, I don't want to seem too smart,
I don't think there was any danger of that. Oh my God. Okay. Fucking all right. So you liked it, sort of.
Yeah, it was great. No, it was good. It was a very good album.
Hell yeah, man. Oh, I'm 2 for 2. I always like when I go 2 for 2. That's always
Well, it helps when like I already had been listening to one of those albums for years.
I genuinely wasn't sure. I was like, I don't like you've
listened to all of it. I hadn't listened to all of it. So half of it was new to me.
All right. Mr. Bungle.
Yes.
I'm finally getting bungled.
Yeah, so is this your first time ever listening to Mr. Bungle?
So I have tried in the past to listen to Mr. Bungle, and I've listened to I think I did listen to some things off California, and I think I may have listened to a couple of things from this album, maybe, but I barely remember any of it, and so basically, functionally, this may as well have been my first time listening to Mr. Bungle.
Oh boy.
So can you tell me, I would like you to explain to me, so these two albums, you said California is your favorite, and then you also, this is the first one. So do you like the first one? I mean, I assume you do. Can you tell me about why you like the first album?
Oh boy. Why I like it.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
Let's see here. It's very dense.
Okay, that's a word, yep.
I don't know, that's maybe the best way to, it's like, it occupies this like very unique place of like succeeding in making good silly music.
Okay.
And like it's very like, I'll be completely honest, this album is a lot. And like especially to listen to it as an album is like, you asked for it.
I did. I asked for it.
You asked for it.
I told you to do this to me.
You asked for it, and so but it's like there was a reason I was avoiding putting these albums on. It's like it's nice to listen to a Mr. Bungle song, or 2 or 3 even.
Yep.
But to listen to the whole, especially the first Mr. Bungle album.
Yeah, they're long. They're long, and there's a lot in there.
Is to truly court insanity in like a way that is pleasurable. Like, because it is really good. Like, I want to be clear here. Like I think that these songs are genuinely like really good. As insane as that sounds, because it's essentially like weird circus music. But like, there's some real like artistry going on here. I say as I listen to like, you know,
my ass is on fire. My ass is on fire has a real artistry to it that it's very difficult to describe.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous music. But like executed expertly. And it's like frenetic and like schizophrenic and absolutely insane.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess that's why I like it.
So then walk me through California. Why is California good?
It's awesome surfer music.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I love the whole feel. Like, I genuinely love California. Like, I'll listen to that whole album and like not even realize it. Whereas like, I don't think I would ever listen to the entirety of the Mr. Bungle album in a sitting. I think I usually stop around Stub-a-Dub or My Ass is on Fire. I think that's usually where I stop listening to this album. Because it's hard to do it in one sitting. It's a long album.
It's a long album, and
it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of things happening at all times. So what did you think, Jason, of the first Mr. Bungle album, Mr. Bungle?
Okay.
Because you asked for it.
I did ask for it. Well, I told you to bungle me. I demanded to be bungled.
You demanded to be bungled.
Being bungled as hard as
I can't be blamed for anything that happened.
No, when you have to get bungled, you get bungled. I mean, that's just the name of the game. It does what it says on the tin. This benefited a lot from a second listen. How about that? How about that for a hot take?
I love that. That is a good take.
I listened to this the first time and I was like, this is nonsense. This is fucking stupid. And I don't understand how anyone would listen to this. And then once I knew that, and I felt that way, and then I went back and I listened to it again, you know, like another day, you know, I let it breathe, let it fester, you know, like a delicious ripe cheese.
No. I do the same thing sometimes. You have to like get that anger out.
Yeah, you know,
the first listen.
Like
what the fuck did Steven do to me?
Like a particularly pungent, cheese. Like,
yes,
you
exactly.
Just, you take the first bite, you're like, I'm literally eating poison. And
It's
then
a
you're like,
Limburger.
oh, but the poison it's kind of good.
Yeah. It's dank.
Let me get my criticisms out of the way. Get my criticisms out of the way. So, first of all, I have a little bit of a problem, I think, just generally with Mike Patton's voice. Because Mike Patton, I think, because he's such an influential artist, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He has a style, okay? And that style, I think, has been imitated in a lot of ways. Like, I think there's a way of his, like, I think I finally crystallized this because apparently I think Love is a Fist, right? It's the penultimate track on this album. Apparently that was a huge influence on the band Korn. Like, they listened to that song and they were like, I want to make that, right? That's my understanding. That was like, I was reading the Wikipedia on this and I was like, oh, okay. Korn has kind of an annoying voice. I was just like, is he trying to do a Mr. Bungle voice? Is that what he's trying to do? Is like that his thing? Is that what's going on here? And so like, and I think that Mike Patton is being particularly Mike Patton-y on this album.
Oh,
like,
God, yeah, of course.
Much more so than he does on Faith No More. Because I like Faith No More. I assume you do as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I like Faith No More, and like his voice, like at first, like it took a little bit of getting used to because he does kind of like a whininess thing a little bit, but like it's his style, and that's fine. And like on Faith No More, I think that he tones it down quite a bit and sings more, and it works, and it's fine. But on this, he's just like. It's like he's just going for it. Like he's just doing that thing with his voice that I don't like. And I almost feel like it sounds sarcastic. Like he's trying to like make a joke out of what he's doing, which I don't think is even wrong. I don't even think that's wrong. I think he literally is trying to do that.
He's doing that on purpose. That's not his real voice, right?
Yeah, I mean, he does still like...
Mike Patton is like insane. Like his vocal range is like, I don't know what his real voice is. But like this is definitely not what his like singing voice is. This is definitely like a put on, like you're saying. Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think that is part of this. Is like this entire album just feels like tongue firmly planted in cheek. And like I don't know, like I think that annoys me a little bit. Like I don't care about like I feel like with this album, like Mike Patton, I guess, strikes me as a person who thinks he's a lot smarter than everybody else.
Sure, yeah.
And whether or not that's actually true, that's this album to me, maybe at least at the time, if this feels like a like peak, like I am better than you and here's why, and I'm going to make this ridiculous sarcastic album because I feel like it. Yeah. And that comes across and it rubs me the wrong way a little bit. So that aside.
I can accept that.
Yeah. I also feel like a lot of music, in one way or another is trying to elicit some type of emotional response, right? Like that, like the music itself is like, with Tycho, it's just a sense of relaxation and something, right? And like, maybe introspection or something. You could fucking, psychologize it to death. And with, like the Death album, it's like, there's fucking like angst and anger and shit that's trying to be like, put out there. Whereas like with this, I almost feel like, and this is almost kind of like a backhanded compliment, but like, I almost feel like this is just pure music. Like that this has nothing to communicate whatsoever. I know that's probably not true about this, but like, it almost feels that way of just like, this has no motives other than just like musical maximalism of just like do everything at once, and we're not trying to communicate anything. We're just trying to make the most music at a time. And I like you said, it's a lot.
I mean, it was produced by John Zorn, who's like a jazz experimentalist.
Okay.
Right? And like, so yes, correct.
Okay. So I'm not crazy.
I think you're right. Like, this is an attempt to be impressive musically. Yes. Like, yes, literally, like, here's what we can do. Like, we're going to do every style and every genre, and like, we're better than you. Yes. Yeah. I think you got that correct. That is what they're going for.
Yeah. Now
quite directly.
That being said, I think that in a lot of ways, what I think this album really is, this album in particular, I think is a little bit of like, I almost want to say like almost like a little bit of like an art installation type of thing. Because here's this, what strikes me the most about this album is that it got made at all.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this was produced by Warner Brothers, right? Like this is like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is like a real album. This is not some dude in his basement. This is a real album produced by a large record label on purpose. And I think if I'm trying to get into the head of a Mike Patton at the time making this album, I imagine that he was like, wait, really? Like, are you sure? Like, you're going to give me money to make this, and I get to do what I want.
You're going to give me money to make Mr. Bungle.
Yeah, like, you want me to make...
I mean, it's called Mr. Bungle.
It is called Mr. Bungle.
Just like...
Twice. 2 times.
Like, it's like, what else were you expecting?
And
from
like,
an album called Mr. Bungle, Mr. Bungle.
And I mean, they made it. They really made this album.
They made the fuck out of this album. This album is like... I mean, not to like... come on too strong, but it's kind of a masterpiece, right? Like, it is actually a really, really good album.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean,
like, you can pretty much like just like go to any particular part of any particular song, and like, not only will it be like amazing, but it'll be like significantly different than the minute before that or the minute after it.
Yeah. I mean, like the entirety of Squeeze Me Macaroni, like the poor fucking bass players, like poor little fingies, like.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Okay. To maybe zoom in a little bit. Did you have any songs you liked?
Yeah. Okay. So let's zoom in a little bit. Let me pull my.
Any songs you didn't hate? Maybe it's a better way of saying it.
Okay. Let's keep at this for a minute, because I'm.
Okay. Sure.
When I was the point I was trying to make with like I can't believe this got made is I think that is part of what's interesting about this album is this is basically like saying, okay, you told me to bungle you is what this album is.
Yeah.
And I agree that it's kind of brilliant, like it's brilliant in a way that I don't necessarily want this, right? Like,
oh God, no.
Like, I don't think I'm going to sit down and listen to this, barring maybe a few songs that I think were pretty good. I like the spectacle of this. I can appreciate the spectacle.
This is not an easy listening album.
Yeah. This is a person who was given money to essentially make the stupidest thing possible. And I think that anybody in that situation, if they were capable, would have to make this album. Like, how could you not? Like, how could you not just do, like, you listened to my demo tape and you told me to make a whole album of that. Okay. You're fucking nuts, but all right, here we go. I'm going to do it. Like, so I'm impressed by that. I am impressed by that. I will say.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of squeezing macaroni. And
then
so
just
good.
Every bass note.
Yeah, and the bassist's fingers are just bone.
Yeah, it's not even bleeding anymore, just bone.
Yeah, no, it's long past that. That was like the first minute.
Yeah.
Was the blood.
I do find though that like so Demented Circus music on point. My initial reactions to this as well, I got a real Dr. Steele vibe off of this.
Oh yes, definitely.
And mixed with Queen, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I don't agree. Like Queen. Because I find like Queen is one of those bands that people roast me for not liking, but I just find it like it's got like an almost like show tunes quality to it that I just don't.
I don't listen to a lot of Queen, so
yeah. I mean, like fucking We Are the Champions and fucking whatever else, fucking Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know. I don't like Freddie Mercury that much as a vocalist, all told. Like, again, blasphemy. Like, I roast me all you want. I don't fucking care. I've heard every dig at my musical taste for not liking Queen. I don't like Queen. It's fucking, I don't like it. It doesn't do anything for me.
It's okay.
But anyway, just had to get that out there. It's it's a point of contention for a lot of people.
It's our controversy episode.
Yeah. It's, this is the episode where people are going to yell at us.
Great.
I love
they're
it.
listening.
Hey,
We win
suckers. Are these our real opinions, or are we just doing it for the clicks? It's
both.
It's both.
It's both.
But I did find that I did two things. Well, I did one thing important on the second run of this album that I think made this a lot easier to listen to. Is I skipped over all of the fucking bullshit, like all the the burping and shitting in the toilet and all the whatever, like all the bullshit in between
Oh,
stuff.
it's like the ends of songs and stuff.
The beginnings and ends of songs where they were they were not
that's...
making music, and this makes this album go way the fuck faster when you do that, which is helpful. And it made it a lot better, honestly. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I like actually listen to the music. But let's see. I think Stub a Dub I did like.
It takes you all the way to Stub a Dub? Damn. You don't like Carousel?
So, okay. Let me just go through these and try to remember, because it's again, it's a lot.
Yeah. You didn't want to listen to it too many times. I get it.
I think I listened to this one 3 times, and that was
wow. Okay, that's amazing.
It was
that's
difficult
impressive
to do.
Yeah, that's more than I would have expected. Twice would have been enough.
I do like around 2 minutes in quote unquote.
Yes.
206.
Yeah, this is the best part.
Like I like he's got some solid breakdowns in this, you know.
Oh, so good. And then it goes to that slow part, and then it like live forever at 2:55. Oh, I mean, I just love this whole album. It's really good.
Yeah, like
and then it goes into this part that I also like.
Slowly Going Deaf has like the weird like metal breakdown around 3:20.
Oh yeah, but before that it has like the country like the 2-minute part.
And this is why this album is so fucking hard to talk about. It's just like, oh, you remember the country part? And like I was like, wait, what part of this? Like what? It's like that was Slowly Growing Deaf. It's like, how could that possibly be? That's the second song on the album. How could they have already gone through 12 genres by then?
Yeah, no, they already have, and it's great. And they do it in like a seamless way. I don't know. It's schizophrenic, but also great. Yes, but the breakdown at 3:20.
I think that because this album is so jarring, you get used to it, but I think it's a Stockholm syndrome more than a seamlessness.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. As long as my perception is correct.
I don't disagree with you on that. No, Carousel is, I guess, okay, but like it's almost like, I don't want to say so tame. It's almost too much like a song.
Okay, interesting.
It's not bad. It's just like it didn't jump out at me.
It didn't grab you. Yeah, that's fine. Dub a Dub is great though.
Yeah, no, okay. It's at like 104. No, 108. Oh god, that fucking bass. Oh my god. Like that rules.
Yes.
That legitimately rules.
Yeah. And there's so many moments like that.
But yeah, that was the first, I mean, honestly and truly, like, I mean, there was parts, but that, like, when I heard that, I was like, okay, no, that fucking does rule. Like, I was like, even in the first run through where I was like grumpy about this album, that stood out to me as like, okay, that is pretty fucking cool.
Yes. Great.
And then My Ass is on Fire, I also did enjoy. Yeah, again, it's like around like 30 seconds. It's like that kind of like, like, I don't know, like there's like something about that. It's just, it's so fucking heavy.
It's so good. Yeah. I mean, this is a heavy album.
Well, and it's funny too, because like apparently their original roots were like thrash metal.
That makes sense. This is very thrashy.
Have you actually listened to any of The Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny?
What? No.
So that was their original demo.
Oh. Okay.
And they've remastered it, and they brought they re-recorded it. Okay, with
awesome. Okay.
A fucking like
2020. I see.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to like you click to any like random points in that album.
Oh yeah, I love this.
It's just a literal just a thrash metal album, like just pure 100%, no jokes, just a thrash metal album. It's a good thrash metal album.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know that existed. That's so cool.
Yeah, so like it's just crazy that we got Mr. Bungle out of that.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're artists. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh my God. The like a minute 50, or I guess a little bit before that, a minute 48.
In what?
And My Ass is on Fire, like a minute 48. Like that's like.
Oh yes, yeah.
Like that is fucking rules. Like it's so good.
Yeah, but he's literally singing My Ass is on Fire.
He's literally singing My Ass is on Fire.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, yeah, it's so good.
And then, so Girls of Porn, like this one to me sounds the most like a Faith No More song.
Yeah, it's essentially the album's love song.
Yes, so far as it could be.
Yeah, it's the love ballad. It's so smooth, so they had to. It's harder to transition when you're so smooth.
Like I could actually imagine some version of this on Angel Dust. Like it's not totally out of place. It's a little bit out of place, but like you could shoehorn it in and somebody might not notice. And his singing is a little bit more reserved on this. He's not doing the whole
essentially
Mr.
the most
Bungle
normal
thing.
song almost on the album.
I think it is too, which is hilarious.
Yeah, of course. And then Love is a Fist, one of the best songs.
And I think it's like around like 2 minutes 55 that like the Korn people were talking about of like the fucking just like this must be what they were talking about because it's like I can see that.
That's what they did.
Yeah. And then Dead Goon.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say about this one, I don't think.
I mean, there's only like 2 minutes of actual song, really.
It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a
intro.
lot of album for my brain.
Yeah. But you got through it.
I did.
You liked some of it. That's important. That's good. That's all I really expected. I kind of thought you were going to hate it. So
okay, I got to ask though. So this is you because you're not a big fan of Deconstruction, correct? By Devin Townsend.
No, not a huge fan. Yeah.
So why this and not that? I wonder out loud.
What? I don't even see how the two are related.
I feel like they both have like I don't know. I put them in a similar category of like they are just like the vomit album of just like I'm going to take everything that is in my brain, including all of the weird like skits and bullshit and just like all of the crazy like just insane musicality without really any regard for like if it's a thing or not. Just I'm gonna just make it. I'm just gonna make the album. I mean, like fucking Deconstruction has the Mighty Masturbator on it. Like I feel like these are in a similar category.
I mean, I've probably listened to both those albums the same amount of times.
Okay,
would be my response.
Okay. So you don't. This is not the Mr. Bungle. This is an introduction to Mr. Bungle for me in its purest form.
Yeah, what Mr. Bungle is at its peak is not the thing that I like most about Mr. Bungle.
Okay.
The thing I like most about Mr. Bungle is California.
Okay. That's fair.
Which is probably their worst album, like critically, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know. But it's the one I like the most because it has more music on it.
More music and less.
Yeah. But I can't deny that I still like all the songs on Mr. Bungle. I just don't like. It's like, listening to like Melt Banana or like Sunship by John Coltrane or something. It's like I'm not going to like sit down casually at my computer while doing something and try to like listen to a freeform jazz album. And like I'm not going to put Mr. Bungle on either.
Yeah.
Right? But I might put the next album, California, on by Mr. Bungle.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, California. I'll admit as well, and this might surprise you, but I also wasn't a massive fan of this the first time through. I think this also, for me, benefited from a second listen.
Did you just find it like boring or something?
I'm trying to like listen through. I think I still just found it like it was still just kind of strange,
You thought this was strange? I feel like this is like almost mainstream. I have very weird. My musical tastes are very skewed by years of listening to weird stuff.
It's because this album, it's like it jumps.
It's so normal.
It's not like Mr. Bungle
at all
in that it's insanity, right? But it does do a lot of weird skipping over different genres thing.
I feel like this is a very coherent sounding album to me. It's pretty like it's California. Like it hits that pretty on the nose. It's like surfer rock. I mean, old school rock.
I guess tell me that Golem 2 the Bionic Vapor Boy is that. Like Air Conditioned Nightmare,
50 seconds.
Totally agree, right? 100%. None of them knew they were robots? I don't know. We're back to circus music. A little bit. Not quite.
I don't know. It's like, I guess you're right, but in my mind, this all just sounds like surfer rock. Even though clearly when I'm listening to it, that's not what I'm hearing.
And that's the thing.
But
I
it's
actually
like
agree with
that.
you. I think that...
Yeah, but it does though, right?
On the second listen, I think that it feels much more coherent.
It's so coherent. It's like, it's all just like California. Like, I don't know.
Like, I feel so like on the second listen, I saw The Matrix on this. Like, I was like, okay, I get it.
Okay, cool.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like, and I like more of the songs on this album than I do.
Yeah, they're not all great. There's some weaker ones.
Yeah. Like,
but my God,
it's a Sweet Charity, right? Like, again, this gets into like, it's bordering a little bit too, like, I don't know if it's a joke, but it feels like it's a little bit too much of a joke with like around like the 1 minute, like the bob again. It's like,
yeah, it's still Mr. Bungle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you're supposed to be in on the joke. I don't think it's making fun of the person listening, right? It's just having fun with music.
See, and that's okay. And that's the thing is like, is it? I don't know. And you might be right. But like, to me, it almost feels, it's like, is it having fun with music, or is it making fun of the music industry and just music and like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if like it's an unserious thing, or if it's like this is a fun joke for all of us, you know, like, is this a scathing commentary, or is this a like a fun little detour?
I mean, I don't know, man. Voltaire's still good, whether or not you like, I don't know. If this is supposed to be a joke, then like he spent like a year of his life making it.
Yeah.
And like he's singing really well.
And here's the thing, right? Like, I feel like this is much less so than Mr. Bungle. I feel like the first album you could really level that criticism at, or if it's even a criticism, you could say that about that album. This album, less so. I feel like Sweet Charity is a little bit like, it's a little bit kind of, I don't know, silly, but maybe not that type of silly. None of them knew they were robots. Again, feels very much like a Mr. Bungle song. Again, like maybe more toned down, but has that kind of it's just like this weird, goopy, frantic thing that I don't really know what's happening.
It's just like a swing hall, you know, like just imagine like a 50s dance hall, or maybe 30s. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you're hearing with this. I don't know what this is. It's not even that it's bad. It's just that, like,
it's like I can definitely see someone like dancing with like their one finger in the air to this. You know what I mean?
I think like in a David Lynch version of that, then absolutely. This is like the David Lynch version of the...
Oh, that's a good way to put it. This is the David Lynch version of this music.
And that is,
yes,
is
exactly.
Honestly, like, where I found some appreciation with this album is this album is like the David Lynch California. That's what this album is.
That's a good way to put it. Yes.
It's unsettling.
I love it.
And I like that. I can be down with that. I'm not necessarily going to listen to it, but like, I can be down with it. Like, I get that. But that being said, though, when we got to Retro Vertigo, I was like, okay, I would listen to this again.
Yeah, Retro Vertigo is one of the best songs on the album for sure. That
I love, like, around like 50 seconds. I think it's 56. That like chord, not chord, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like that transition to like a different key signature that he pulls off. It's just like,
yeah, it's really good.
Like, when he's singing seriously, he's such a good singer.
I don't think he's ever not singing seriously. It's hard to sing like that.
Maybe not for him.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, it is hard. Like, and so him doing it is impressive. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not hard for him. That's what's so crazy about Mike Patton is like, he has an insane vocal range. Like, and so he can just do everything. And it's cool that he shows that off.
Yeah. It's almost, I had this,
it's like, look at that. Like at 2:30, like, I think,
I was even going to say before that. It's like 1:35, like when it transitions. Oh, it's so good.
Well, I mean, the part at 3 minutes, 10 seconds about where it just transitions. Oh.
Yes. As a very like,
yeah, so good.
When he wants to be like delicate, he can be. And then when he wants to be just an absolute fucking nightmare machine, he also can be, and can switch between those things with seemingly no effort at all, which is insane.
And then we get to Air Conditioned Nightmare.
Yeah.
Out of this Air Conditioned Nightmare. Oh, so good. Like the part at 104 when it like transitions to that heavy thrash.
Let me listen.
And then right back.
And then yes, I mean, like I know you love this kind of shit. And like, I'm less. It's fun a little bit, but I'm kind of like, okay, I wouldn't necessarily listen to this. Like, I get tired of the funniness of it after a couple listens. I still like it, but like I'm just kind of like, okay.
I just don't. Yeah, it's not really like this album. I don't really think has like that funny feel to me at all.
That being said, though,
Like,
around 135, that like just fucking crazy like Tom's beat, and then just like this whole. This is nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and it transitions back. I mean, you like Opeth.
Okay. That's a fair jab. But what Opeth is doing versus what is being done here is just simply transitioning a riff from playing it clean to playing it distorted. Whereas what's happening here, like, okay, like for instance, on Retro, what was it? Was it Retro Vertigo that we were just talking about when like at like 308, when he transitions from like playing it and then playing it again, but now he's singing like the chorus or whatever it is, but like heavily distorted and like all that shit. That's what Opeth does. And I like that. But what they're doing on Air Conditioned Nightmare of like switching between one thing that is this and then another thing that's like not really related is it's fine, right? Like there's nothing wrong with abrupt transitions in music. I just don't necessarily like that what he's doing with the abrupt transitions, you know? And it's fucking hard too, by the way. Like to, you know,
play that.
As
and
a band dealing with this, fuck, man.
They play it live, dude. Watching the live show is amazing. I will say.
Despite everything that I've said, I mean, game recognized game, right? Like I fucking like I can see that, like I know how fucking talented he is. But okay, I had this phrase in my head, and I don't even know if I 100% agree with it, but I'm gonna say it because it's inflammatory, and why not? So a lot of what I feel like he does with Mr. Bungle to me feels like musical tech demo.
Okay, sure. I see where you're coming from there.
Like it's like you know, you do a tech demo for your shit, right? You're not trying to make a video game, you know, or whatever. You're just trying to show off what is possible with the technology. And because him and all of the musicians around him are extremely talented, they're like, this is what you could do with music. You could do fucking anything, and we're gonna do all of it. And it's impressive, but like it's not a thing, right? It's just showing off what is possible. And
keep up, Boomer.
I don't even know if I agree with that much more with the Mr. Bungle album than I do with this. Like this is much more coherent and an actual song. But like there's still elements of that of just like, okay, yeah, you could, but why? You know, like why this choice in particular?
Yeah,
what
it sounds awesome.
And in some cases it does. In some cases I don't even know if it sounds awesome. It's just kind of like, okay, you transitioned into a totally different style of music for 15 seconds. Okay. I mean, it's cool that you're able to do that. Like fucking, you know, pachi, but like
it's fine. Mr. Bungle's not for everyone. And you had to ingest a lot of Mr. Bungle in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I understand.
And it's more for me than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, of course, because it's good.
It is good. It is genuinely good.
But I could see how it's a lot.
Ars Moriendi
is great.
At
so good.
39 seconds.
39 minutes. Yeah. Don't you wish that it was that long? It's so
at
good.
39 seconds. You know what I cannot help hearing is fucking, you remember like, it's like the fucking, like the Badger guy, Weeble?
Oh my God. Yes, I hear it. That's amazing.
Hear.
That's so good. Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then you know what else I hear in this, especially when it gets to like the heavy part, around, oh yeah, oh God, 120. It's like it's like that same, it's like that kind of, I guess it's like, maybe it's like a polka beat or something, but it's like that 120. Oh God, it's fucking like, I could just imagine like Badgers dancing to this right now.
Oh yes, 100%. Yeah, it's very Weeble stuff. I mean, I bet Weeble was inspired by.
I would not be surprised. But then at 133, when it transitions,
yes,
fucking
so good.
Giant squid.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Especially that one album that you had like sent me a million years ago, The Ichthyologist. Yes. Well, like I was just like, it's that. I was like, fuck, it's fucking Giant Squid, man. It's like that, like.
And it is what you're saying. It is a tech demo, right? It's like Mr. Bungle was like, man, Arabic metal, like let's combine those two influences.
Yeah, why not?
And like he did it for like a minute on this song, and it was awesome. And then like 10 years later, someone made a band out of it.
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm down with that.
That's insane. That level of just like casually tossing away entire concepts in like for like a little bit essentially in your song.
Yeah, and that's like both what impresses me and turns me off of Mr. Bungle is like none of the idea, like so many of the I won't say none. That's an unfair criticism. There's many ideas within this that I like that are not fleshed out.
Yes,
and
that's true.
It's like music made by a very, very ADD person. And that's totally cool. But like at the same time, it's just like, okay, but like I don't want like freneticness. Like I want to actually experience some of these things for more than 15 seconds.
15 seconds is plenty. You don't need any more than that.
That's what my patent.
What do you want to do? Are you trying to luxuriate in your music?
I know.
You know, hear it, moved on.
It's like,
hear it, move on.
Did you get it? Okay, I'm moving on to the next thing.
You got it? Okay, great. Next style. I love it. That's exactly what I needed. I can't remember 30 seconds behind me in a song anymore. What am I supposed to do? Remember what the last thing he was doing was? No. What's currently playing is what the song has always been, Jason.
He was so ahead of his time. It's music for the TikTok generation.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's right where I needed it.
Yeah. You could turn one song into like 15 TikToks.
Yeah, and they could all be for different things.
Pink Cigarette, very much that David Lynch thing I was talking about.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If Pink Cigarette isn't in a David Lynch movie or TV show, then it needs to find its way into a David Lynch movie or a TV show. That would
be awesome.
The answer. Yeah. It's like he invented the song for that. Especially even like the fucking screaming at like 3 whatever. It's just like it would fit perfectly.
Oh yeah. And no complaints about incoherentness on this one, at least.
No, this is razor focused.
This is a song. Yes. And they made a song here.
And the screaming in the background is just like, I love it. Like that's the kind of like weirdness that I can get behind of like something that is not just adding a different song into a song. It's embellishing on an idea by adding incoherent element, you know?
Yeah, you need your weirdness to be in a box, man.
Yeah, well, because I'm a fucking rube. You know that. This has been well established over, what, you said 37 episodes? 37 episodes.
37.
I'm a fucking, heavy eyebrow troglodyte.
I don't think anyone who gets to recommend death and Tycho calls themselves a troglodyte. Don't think you can claim that.
Well, I mean, among the people that call other people troglodytes, I am certainly a troglodyte.
Sure.
So
yeah, sure.
At the very least. And then Golem 2, the Bionic Vapor Boy.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Weird song. I actually liked it a lot.
It's really fun, right?
Is fun the word I would use? It is a completely different vibe from almost everything on the rest of the album, but it's like, I don't know, like it's the most kind of like electronic sounding of everything on this. And
yeah, it's because it's Golem 2, the Bionic Vapor Boy.
There's like a video gaminess to it, maybe?
It's very electronic.
I think it's really fucking cool. It's just
awesome.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I like all these songs, so you're not going to get a disagreement from me on this one.
I don't know how it fits into the album. I don't really care. I like the song.
And then Holy Filament.
So this it's interesting. It's an interesting song. Yeah. It's pretty laid back.
It's pretty neutral. Yeah, it's a pretty neutral song. And then Vanity Fair.
This again is one that feels like it could live on a Faith No More album.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's amazing.
And I like this.
Yeah, especially the end at 2:15.
Yeah.
Yeah, just amazing. Ugh.
It almost feels like the album wanted to end on Vanity Fair, but then we have Goodbye Sober Day.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It feels like they kind of just put it here at the end for some reason.
Yeah. Although that ending part at, 2:40?
Yeah, that must be why they wanted to do it, yeah. Yeah, that is, yeah, exactly. That's the best part.
And then just fucking just rock outro. Just okay, I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it is Faith No More. That's probably the producer or whatever. It's like, you need to end it with the Faith No More shit. They're like, okay. I guess we're going to put Goodbye Sober Day at the end.
I wouldn't consider Goodbye Sober Day to be a Faith No More feel to it. That feels almost to be like going back to their thrash metal roots of just we're going to fucking just put this crazy bullshit right at the end. I don't know. Okay. I've been bungled. You've bungled me.
Yes, I've fully bungled you.
I've been fully and completely and utterly bungled inside and out. So where would you, in terms of because I have this impression of you that you just fucking love Mr. Bungle. Is that accurate? Am I making that up? Is that just like a
Like, I fucking love him. That's a strong.
okay?
I like the album California a lot.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. I probably haven't listened to it in years, right?
Okay.
Like, or any Mr. Bungle really.
Okay.
You know, I mean, just because I listen, there's a lot of music.
I know. I think I'm remembering a version of you back in the day.
That like Mr. Bungle a lot more. Like 15 years ago, I liked Mr. Bungle a lot.
Yes, and I think that's what I'm remembering is that like you
Yeah.
had a very strong like, oh, Mr. Bungle is like one of my favorite bands. Like,
Yeah, they were. Yeah. At one point, I liked them a lot. Yes. But there's been a lot of music since then. So much music. Oh my God, so much.
yes,
I've forgotten more than I could ever remember at this point.
I can't help but make the Devin Townsend comparison. Just purely,
I think that's a good comparison. They're both auteurs.
yeah, purely on the basis of just like they're both very talented vocalists who have incredible control over their voice, who are also very committed to just doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yes.
And well, I am a huge fan of Devin Townsend. I am just because like I feel like he's the version of Mike Patton that didn't end up like super cynical and jaded. Like he's like the friendly version of Mike Patton.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
like the cool uncle version of Mike Patton versus like the surly teenager version of Mike Patton. Which I don't even know what Mike Patton like fucking cares about anymore. I've just like seen interviews with him from like a million years ago where he's just angsty and, you know.
Oh, really? I never watched any. I try to avoid knowing my artists after the not Mike Patton. That's who we're talking about. He ended up being like a born again Christian or something, and it ruined like the whole band for me. Mike Snow or something.
Snow is the album from Spock's Beard, but
Snow.
yeah.
Spock's Beard.
Guy you're talking
whatever that guy.
Fuck, who are you talking about? I know.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Oh my God, you were.
And it's like I tried to not let it bother me that he was a born again Christian making born again Christian music, because I still liked it, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't make it through.
Neil Morris.
Neil Morris? Yeah. And just ruined a really great artist.
Yeah. But actually, it's funny because Devin Townsend has a Mike Patton story because Mike Patton is not
Really?
that much older than Devin Townsend, but like he is a little bit older.
Yeah.
And like Devin Townsend like was a big fan of Mike Patton and like, you know, he like ran into him after a show or something and Mike Patton just kind of like blew him off a little bit. And like he was telling the story. He's like, you know, he's like, I get it. He's like, you know, when you're fucking like doing this for like, you know, however long, it's like, I mean, you get tired and like sometimes you just have a bad day. It's like, it's whatever. It's like, it has nothing to do with the person. It has everything to do with just like the circumstances of whatever.
Yes.
You know, he's like, because like somebody had asked him if he would ever collaborate with Mike Patton, right? You know, so he was talking about this. He's like, but you know what? He blew me off that one time, so fuck him. I'll never talk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
yeah.
That's such a Devin Townsend thing to say. It's just like jokingly, just like, fuck him. I'll never talk to him because he blew me off that one time. It's just like, but
No, for sure.
and so I guess just like the thing that strikes me about like the difference between those two is like I feel like everything that Devin Townsend, at least for a long time now, I know maybe the Strapping Young Lad era is different, but like for a long time now, it's like everything that he does is just like extremely genuine, you know? And I do feel like I sometimes miss that a little bit in the Mr. Bungle stuff. And again, that might just be me reading, like projecting something onto it that is not there. But, you know, to me, it feels like Mr. Bungle feels partially like it's not serious. And for some reason that causes me to like pull away from it a little bit more, but didn't feel that way nearly as much with California, especially on the second listen. And I listened to this, I think like 3 or 4 times. Like I enjoy it. I kept thinking, I was like, oh, should I listen to the Mr. Bungle album again just to like refresh my memory? I was like, I think I'll just listen to California again.
Yes, it's certainly the more easy listening of the two. I really would. I just don't think it's not that it's like a joke, right? Like it sounds carnival-y, but like I like Mike Patton does not strike me as someone who would like unseriously create something.
Mike Patton is not a serious person.
Yeah, he strikes me as a very serious person, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like too serious. Like not only is Mr. Bungle not a joke, like I think he would find offense if I'm like picturing him personally the right way. like he would be like, no, like Mr. Bungle was like a really serious project I did that like I put a lot of work into, and like I would expect you to respect that as like an artist. Like that would be his reaction.
Maybe. I'm not taking
like,
I'm not taking demented circus music seriously enough. This is a problem.
Sure,
with
that's
me.
fine. Yeah, I know. It would like. I think he did. I think he took it really seriously.
It's like the shitting in the toilet part was probably one of the most important parts of the album. Like it really
exactly. Yes. 110% that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. It's the opposite of a joke. I don't know what that is. A lecture? Mr. Bungle is a lecture.
Yeah.
Actually, that's actually, you know what? That actually that's perfect.
Yeah.
Mr. Bungle is a lecture.
Mr. Bungle is a lecture.
It's a lecture about how not good at music you are compared to Mike Patton.
Yeah. And again, I mean, like all of that, just like there is a sense of superiority.
It's fine not to like that.
Yeah.
I get that. You can want to beat his face in. Like I don't care. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have any personal attachment to Mike Patton.
Yeah.
Or indeed any of his music. Although I do like his music.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
he might actually be an incredibly humble like, person. Who knows?
Exactly. Like who knows?
But
yeah.
like it does not come across that way.
But no. I will say like after Mr. Bungle, then he made like a porn album, like an album made up of porn sounds. And then he did like opera stuff after that for a while. And then he did like movie music.
Yep.
Like he definitely did not get less serious. He became more serious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's incredibly influential and famous, and it's, I mean, like,
and talented.
He's made all of the music, so
exactly.
Like,
yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
And whatever his operatic, I mean, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna look.
Yeah, Mondo Cane, right? I think I've listened to it.
Mondo Cane. Have you ever listened to it? It's really good.
Yeah,
it's just good.
And that's the thing, though. It's like that is what I'm latching on, because like I bet you money that he cares a fucking shit ton about that. He's like that, like. That was probably his passion project, and I bet that, like, you know, like that was, I can imagine that being something crazy important to him in a way that I feel like, and maybe Mr. Bungle totally was too, but like Mr. Bungle to me feels just like either playing a gag on Warner Brothers for giving him money to make an album,
sure,
or
I mean that's very possible,
you know,
yeah,
or it was, but I mean, like they fucking let him do another one, and so it's like, okay, fine, if they're not gonna get the hint, then I'm gonna make an actual decent album.
He did 3.
He made 3, yeah. They just kept letting him do it.
They kept letting him do it. So like, who knows?
Yes.
Who knows?
Is a genius, but you know,
he used it to make crazy circus music.
I mean, in a similar way to, like, you know, how Dream Theater, especially their later stuff, is incredibly technically impressive, and I just don't give a shit. Like,
sure.
And this is much, to be fair, this is more interesting than the stuff that Dream Theater puts out these days.
I will say, when you leveled the accusation at Mr. Bungle that it like didn't have emotion backing it, like that's correct. Like these are not emotionally evocative songs for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but like the first Mr. Bungle album is like technical. It is. Yeah. It is a very cold album.
And like it's in that way, like I said, it almost makes it the most musical album possible, because it's not trying to trick you into liking it by like,
it is definitely not doing that.
Yeah, it's almost trying to like actively force you to not
push
like
you away.
it.
Yes, I think your reaction is the one that Mike Patton expects.
Yeah, he made that album. He's like, I fucking dare you to like this album.
Yeah, exactly. And so I dare.
Yeah. I just can't. I can't dare.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't. Yeah, I also don't.
I
care.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, even if I don't necessarily like it. I think that it is and I mean, like, I think it's undeniable the influence like that it's had. What I think I learned from this the most is how many people I can imagine heard parts of this. And like you said, oh my God, 5 minute, like 1 minute in a 7-minute song sparked an entire band. You know, it's like, okay, that's cool. I'm down with that. Doesn't mean I need to necessarily listen to the song again, but I'm down with it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would never put this on anyone's like driving playlist.
Unless they hated clowns and you wanted to torture them.
Wanted them to like commit suicide by leaping out of your car on the highway. Let me just put some Mr. Bungle on. Okay, well, yeah, that's kind of what I expected, so that all tracks.
Yeah, no, I thank you. This was an excellent. This was an excellent bungling. I would
have kept it away from you for way longer, and I would have done it at one album at a time.
Yeah, I know we needed to do this. Rip the bungle off.
Rip the bungle right off. You did it. Congratulations.
Oh man, excellent. Well, hey, fucking Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever.
You don't need to wish me Merry Christmas. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, well, the viewers, Steven. I mean, the listeners. I always say the viewers, the listeners.
I don't care about them. You go away, guys. I don't. This is just between me and my brother now. This is two brothers.
It's just two brothers.
Get out of here.
It's just two brothers.
It's just two brothers.